All right, everyone. Welcome to Lunaria. Continent as large as it is diverse, from sprawling mountains to goopy swamps to barren deserts and chilling tundra, all walks of life are featured here. After many, many, many years of peace across these lands, a new threat has seemingly emerged, one that dares to disrupt life all across the continent, and even beyond. And thus, we find ourselves attached to these adventurers before us, an intrepid group of 5 who find themselves struggling with all kinds of things: identity, life, taxes. No, probably not that last one, but mostly they're a bunch of goobers, and we're gonna find out. Everyone's had their fair share of life-shaping events already, but the story really truly is just beginning. And so we first find ourselves zooming into this world, down from the stars, through the sky and the clouds, down to a city on the shoreline. Krakenscar, a fishing town with a high respect for the danger of the waves. And yet, here it is, we find ourselves with a more personal kind of danger. You guys are in the top. And with that, would our first 2 players like to introduce their characters and give us some description?
You go.
Me?
Whoever wants to go first. Yep, whoever wants to go first.
What the fuck?
Oof.
I'm playing Astrid Winterberry. She's a Dhampir rogue. She doesn't know how or why she died, other than her friend Morgan did it.
That it?
And that's it.
Morgan Hell? What?
No, I was going to say, for the purposes of the beginning of this, do you want to roll your percentage now, or do you just want to keep it at the top of the chart?
Yeah, I should do that, huh?
Okay, good.
Percentage.
While you do that, go ahead. You can introduce yourself.
I play Morgan Hell, a little astro elf that's
Oh my god.
in a bit of a panic. Because, well, she killed her best friend, brought her back, and, well, friend is no longer the same.
I have really bad news about the percentage.
Oh no!
Can I get the number? I don't know if you want to do it here. You just want to say it out loud. That's why I asked if you wanted to roll, or you just wanted to keep it top of the chart for the time being.
She's starting at 55.
55. Okay, that's a start. So, with our little descriptions of Astrid and Morgan, would you guys like to describe how your characters look for? Astrid, you're little with that 55. But if you guys want to give a little visual description of your characters and how they look.
You go.
I think you should go first on this one, actually.
No, you're the one who's suffering.
I'm. Keep going, please. Someone. I'm intrigued.
So Astrid is was a human woman. She's about 5'6", 5'8". Normally she's pretty pale, but right now she's looking particularly pale. She has brown eyes usually. Right now, they're more of a mix between brown and red. And while she normally looks well rested, right now, she looks like she hasn't slept in a month. And I think that's all you know at a 55 without really looking.
So Morgan stands about the same height as her friends. She has like long purple hair that has like 2 buns, like little space buns. With, like some blonde tips at the end. She kind of has like this almost ethereal glow just because she's not exactly from this realm. She's from somewhere else that we'll find out later, I'm sure. She also looks like she has not slept in days. Probably because she's been buried in books, tomes, various scrolls that she could get her hands on. And right now she's probably has an uneasy eye worrying over her friend.
Yeah, so we keep in mind this where we're starting right now. This is about 3 or 4 days, I believe we said, after the incident, the tragic accident. And so you've been poring over books, you've been trying to read up, and you have mostly discovered that there's potentially somewhere in the capital that you guys might be able to find some further answers, or maybe even another path to restoring, your friend, hopefully. And so, as we find you guys, you are currently kind of gearing up the last, preparations before you actually take a trip. The long couple of days travel to the capital itself. So, what would you guys like to do?
Do you think we have anything? Are you good?
I think I'm good. I should probably go by the shop, though.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Let's go.
You guys can feel free to move your
How do you know where the shop is? Sorry.
It's where we decided during map making.
I'm assuming it's the dot.
Yeah.
It's right here.
No. It's not the dot. I don't know what that dot is.
Which dot?
There's a dot on the map.
Where?
One of the houses along the way.
I don't see a dot.
Huh?
We need a nuclear explosion.
Oh my god.
No.
So no, this would be the shop here,
Oh.
right underneath one of the trees. At this time, people are milling about. They're kind of walking up and down the streets, but a lot of people are walking past with various supplies. There's a little bit of a time separation. In about a week and a half, Kraken Scar is going to be holding their annual festival. So they're kind of prepping some stuff around the town. The tree behind your shop here always gets brightly decorated. They kind of hang lanterns from the branches, and it looks all nice. And there's another tree in the south that they do the same for. They're kind of the two biggest trees. So as you walk up to your shop, it's the door's closed. It's just you running the shop, yes, Astrid?
Yep.
Like your shop,
Just
yeah.
me.
So you walk up to your shop. Obviously the door is closed. There's no light coming from inside.
Aren't there any white roses piled up?
Or notes. Yeah, I'm gonna check around just to see.
As you do look around, you notice 2 white roses sitting at the door, each with a note wrapped around, tied with a bow. And they're kind of just sitting propped, up against the door, so that you would see them whenever you would return.
I'm gonna pick them up and look at Morgan. We should take care of these before we leave.
Of course.
So I'll open the shop. I'll read the first note.
So as you open the door, door swings open. It's quiet inside. There, you smell your various herbs and flowers and other things you generally keep around your shop. As you open up one of the notes, you know that it has a name on it. And as you read the note, you see, it just really, most people when they drop stuff off when you're not home, since a lot of people kind of know each other in this town, most people just kind of leave their names. And as you read the note, you notice the name, and the name reads, where the fuck are my names?
Surely it doesn't read that.
Yeah, it reads, I don't know who I am anymore.
Someone can relate to that.
Oh.
And no, as you read one of the names, the first note, it reads Seraphine Wraithfeather. And Morgan, you would know this name, but everyone kind of knows who this person is. This is the Owlin that is considered the groundskeeper of the city cemetery to the north.
What does she want?
I don't know. Let me keep reading.
As you continue to read the note, you kind of notice that there's this. You read that she's coming to you asking for your help because, for whatever reason, there's this kind of group of people that have been kind of harassing her as she's trying to take care of the cemetery, and she wants to know if there's anything you can give her to help. Since she knows you're friends with Morgan, she feels she can come to you and ask you for assistance in trying to do something to ward off these ne'er-do-wells, so to speak.
Do you know the group she's talking about?
She hasn't told me anything about them, no.
I don't,
It's not a group that it's kind of, they're regulars to the cemetery in that it seems like they come there specifically to target her. She hasn't mentioned anything to you specifically, Morgan.
I was gonna say, could I maybe roll to see if I noticed something one of my visits with her?
Yeah, if you want to roll, say, give me like a history check.
+4, nice. 13 +4. 17.
That's
I can
17
math.
overall. No, I wasn't sure if it was 13 with the +4 or
No.
17. So, as you kind of think back, you've noticed on some of your visits, and while she hasn't specifically said anything, you notice she's kind of a lot busier than usual. She's patching up a lot of the mausoleums. There's a couple of graves that seem like they've been dug up that you often find her refilling. Stuff like that. More so that's been happening per usual is probably the past couple of days, I would say.
And that's all I could remember, specifically not seeing anyone, right?
You haven't
Okay.
caught anyone in the act doing it, but you've seen her pretty consistently patching up all of the messes and cleaning up
Okay.
everything.
The only thing I can think of is just more damage was done to the area, and she's kind of overworking herself fixing them.
well, if I knew who they were, I could coat their clothes in acid, I guess. I'd keep them pretty busy.
One way to do it, sure.
If I knew who they were, I could spike their drinks at the tavern.
Should we go talk to her real quick?
Yeah, let me read
Or
this
do you-
other note first.
I was gonna say.
The other note is fairly unremarkable. It reads the name Angelica, Whitefeather. She's a quiet, kept to herself kind of woman. But recently she's kind of been staying more shut in. It seems like not so much that she doesn't want to go out, but that it seems like something is keeping her from leaving her house a lot of the time. So you would know that at the very least this note was probably left here maybe in the middle of the night when she was able to sneak out. As you read more through the note, you kind of discover that essentially her husband has been keeping her from leaving the house. He's not been physically abusing her or anything of the sort, but he doesn't let her leave at all, and she's worried things might escalate, especially when she tries to leave. He gets very rowdy, I guess you could say.
It only gets worse from here.
Yeah, unfortunately it does. You want to take care of that one first, real quick?
Yeah, I'll go make some perfume.
Okay.
Okay. So you walk in and you're perusing your herbs and flowers and everything like that you have, making your your concoction. And if you want to say what that looks like, that's up to you.
This is gonna be a little heart-shaped vial. And she's gonna put some pink dye she had in it, and it'll smell like lilacs. And it's just a few drops of aqua tofana. Just a few. She's
Well,
gonna
go ahead.
tie it with a ribbon, store it away.
While she does that, Morgan, what are you up to?
I'm just watching her very closely. Just one, she's always admired her for what she does, and two, because of the new situation, she is extremely worried.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know where Angelica is?
Yeah, she lives actually not too far from the shop. I would probably say she lives kind of in this block right here.
And the cemetery is where?
The cemetery is the big thing to the north. It's the big everything with the mausoleums that's attached to the northern end of the city.
That's a lot of
Right
graves.
down the street from my.
It is a lot of graves.
It's a big city.
Big city,
Yeah.
a lot of graves, and a lot of the
lot of
I
history.
mean, a lot of history.
All right.
So, which above
Well,
table, you would above table, a lot of the bigger mausoleums are kind of places kept where the old Krakens attacked, and they had to put the casualty somewhere.
we'll drop it off. We'll go knock on Angelica's door on the way.
Okay. So as you walk up, you knock on the door, and at first there's no answer. It doesn't seem like anyone's home. But after a couple minutes, you hear a voice come from inside, pretty close to the door. But you hear someone go, "Who is it?"
It's Astrid.
Astrid. Oh, that's right. I left you that note. Are you here to ask me anything, or did you bring me something?
Does she open the door at this point?
As she says that, she kind of cracks the door open enough for her to peek out. You can see she's visibly, nervous that someone might be, there to see her, or her husband might, be waiting for her, or walking up the street that she could see.
Could I come in for some tea?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And she kind of opens the door more and welcomes the two of you inside.
This is my friend Morgan. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, I don't believe we've met, but it's nice to meet you.
Kind of just gives like a small nod and smile.
She kind of nods and waves you inside and brings you into like a little living room area. It's a pretty quaint little home. There's a couple couches, small tables, stuff, of the sort. And she's like, "Hold on, I'll be right back." And she kind of walks back into a side room, and you can hear her gathering teacups and putting some water on the little stove that she has to heat up for your guys' tea.
I'm gonna look around, but really, I'm more focused on what she looks like and her behavior and how truthful she was about the extent of what she was going through.
Okay, so as you kind of look around a little bit, nothing really seems out of the ordinary. Everything's pretty tidy. You can kind of infer that since in her note, it appears that she truly can't really leave all that much, so she finds things to occupy herself with at home. She's often, making things or cleaning up, and so you notice, a couple like blankets that seem to be self-made, just kind of folded neatly on the couch, and there's handcrafted doilies on the little table, but everything else is very clean and tidy. Nothing seems really out of place. When she opened the door, you did notice there wasn't anything physically wrong with her, as you could see, other than she acts and looks very anxious and nervous, that if she's caught she doesn't know what'll happen if she happens to be caught when she's leaving the house.
Okay.
So, as you look around, she comes back in holding a small tray. She has a small tray with a couple of cups of tea, on it, and she sets it down on the little table and welcomes you to sit down on, the couch next to her and everything like that.
I'm gonna sit right across from her, close enough that I can reach her hand.
Okay, so as you sit down, she kind of looks at you expectantly. She's not paying too much attention to Morgan, as she doesn't really know you. She's mostly got her focus on Astrid.
How long has it been this way, Angelica?
If I had to say, probably about 2 weeks now. It started kind of subtle. He would seemingly act annoyed when he would find me while wandering the streets towards the shops, or if he caught me leaving the house to go do something, he would kind of act annoyed as he was coming home, or if he was already home and I got up to go leave. But as the past 2 weeks have gone on, he's gotten a little scarier, if I'm being honest. He yells at me not to leave. Sometimes it feels like the doors are barred or fashioned with new locks that I can't understand very quickly. And she kind of sits there a little bit more quietly in thought, thinking about a couple of other things. But for the most part, as you can read her, she's told you that it started off subtle, but he's kind of escalated more and more over the past 2 weeks to make sure she doesn't leave.
Have you seen your family since you've been married?
Yeah. Everything is great in the beginning. I'm not entirely sure what's happened in these past 2 weeks, but everything was great up until he started getting oddly paranoid about me leaving and doesn't let me leave.
Would we know about anything stranger happening in town?
Not recently. The preparations for the festival have been going on, but there might be isolated incidents of
But nothing that would make
some
someone
weird things, but nothing. Yeah,
maybe
nothing.
paranoid.
Yeah, nothing that you would know of recently happening that might make someone paranoid about stuff like that.
Okay, I'm gonna take her hand with her palm up, and I'm gonna press the vial into her hand. I'm
And
gonna look her in the eye.
as she looks down, and you can kind of see her shoulders kind of relax a little bit, noticing you put the vial in her hand. She kind of looks up at you, looking you in the eyes.
And this is your last resort. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's no going back once you use this.
I know. I wouldn't have left the note with you if I truly wasn't really all that desperate.
Okay. 4 drops. In his tea, in his whiskey, whatever he drinks.
And you see she kind of cracks a little bit of a grin and like a soft smile, and she nods at you and thank you for this.
You're welcome.
And you see she kind of holds it close to her and inspects the vial a little bit, but other than that, she just kind of holds it in her hand. She's like, can I get you anything else?
No, but listen, I'll be out of town, and I don't know when I'll be back. So, I'm going to pre-make some things, and I want you to spread the word for those who need it.
She nods at you and she thanks you again, and she kind of hides the vial, in her apron, and she says, I'll make sure to tell people if I happen to see them around your shop, or if I'm talking to anyone and they mention anything.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, we have other business to attend, so thank you for the tea.
My pleasure. And again, I'm really thanking you for this help.
Just be absolutely sure it's the help that you want.
Of course. And as she gets up and walks you guys over to the door, and she says, "Good luck on whatever it is you're leaving town for."
Thank you. I will walk away.
And I walk away.
Did I walk away?
Yeah, waddle away, waddle.
Oh no, not that.
Yeah. So you guys leave, and again, you walk back onto the main streets, and people are walking by. Some are carrying banners. Other people seem to like they just went on a quick run to the market, so they have bags of stuff they're bringing back home. So you guys are going towards the city's cemetery.
Where we
Say
think
they're
Seraphine
making
will
their way
be.
downtown. Sorry.
There's not Morgan, you would know this. There's never really any one place, for the most part, that you find her. She's very constantly kind of just in various different places, making sure things are good. So you guys kind of wander up towards the cemetery, and as you walk in, everything is very quiet. There's no there's some birds chirping. You might hear like the sound of a crow or two belting and then taking off and flying to another part of the cemetery. As you guys kind of wander around the cemetery, you walk around at one point and you can kind of hear someone. You hear someone, Morgan. You would recognize the voice of Seraphine, and she's like, "God damn it, not again! I can't believe this." And you hear some like scraping and stuff like that as you walk around the corner.
Therapy?
Morgan, what are you doing here?
Well, we saw your note left at Astra's place. Kind of had some questions about that. Never
Oh
told me anything was
yeah,
happening.
I didn't want you to worry. They've not really hurt me, but it's. And she kind of stops and thinks for a moment, and she turns back to you and says, "It's these two men. They, for whatever reason, they've seen to taking fit in vandalizing a lot of the mausoleums and graves and everything like that. And it only started probably a couple days ago now, but I don't know. They really just, they're getting on my last nerve."
I'm gonna hold up the roses she left. Seraphine, you know that I deal in permanent solutions, right?
And she looks at you, and she looks around, the cemetery, and looks back, and it's like, I'm very familiar with permanent solutions to things.
Do you happen to notice who they are, what they look like?
A lot of the times when they're here, it's kind of, just after dusk, so it's fairly dark out. I did notice it's two men. I've heard them speaking, and they're probably a little taller than the two of you. She kind of stands up from the where she is after cleaning up the last bit of some paint that looked to have been thrown against the side of the mausoleum.
Is there anything left of the paint that can help us determine if it's a part of a group?
As you look at, give me, you know what? Give me a perception check. Both of you or one of you?
I'll use my eyeball. Sure, why not? 21.
19 and 21? Okay.
Yeah, natural so far.
Yeah. As you look at the mausoleum that she's working on, it looks like she just cleaned up. As you look around, you notice on the mausoleum that's behind you, that she hasn't gotten to yet, seems to be another symbol. It seems painted on the back of it. This one right here. Painted upon the back of it. You can't really seem to make sense of what it is. It's not a symbol you've ever seen before. But it definitely looks like it would belong to some kind of group. It's a uniform, clean lines. It doesn't look like it was, a bunch of paint thrown on hastily or something like that. It definitely looks like it was deliberately painted.
Do you have a notebook? Can you copy that down?
Of course. I'm gonna copy that down.
Okay. As you write the symbol into your notebook, she looks past you and it's like, oh, I forgot to get that one. They've been leaving these, I don't know what they mean, but they've been leaving these symbols all around. And I've heard their voices so much, it seems like it's the same two people. But there's nothing I can do about it. I just wait for them to finish what they're doing and clean it up in the morning.
Have you got any names?
No, it seems they kind of speak with code names of some sort, but they don't really refer to each other by name. It's kind of hard for me to remember exactly what it was, but they kept referring to someone. I kept hearing some word about someone called the Planeswalker, and they kept saying that they seemed kind of annoyed that all of their work that they've been doing around here keeps getting cleaned up, and that's why they keep having to return. But they keep mentioning every time they paint one of their symbols or they break down some kind of wall or they dig something up, they usually say something like, oh, the Planeswalker will be pleased with me, or something of that nature, but I have no idea what any of that means.
Does that ring a bell to either of us?
The name the Planeswalker is not something either of you have ever heard.
Okay.
Do they show up around the same time?
The two men? Yeah. They always show up together, and
I mean, like time of day.
yeah, they always show up together. Like she had mentioned, they usually show up just after dusk, kind of as it gets like real dark. And it seems like they aren't really targeting anything specifically other than the mausoleums themselves and kind of digging up graves and stuff like that.
What time of day is it now?
Right now it's probably about midday,
I see.
I had to say.
Listen, we could go around this whole town trying to figure out who the hell these people are. Or,
We sit around and wait.
right.
I'm down for that.
So you guys want to wait till night to see if
see if anyone.
see if anyone shows up.
Astra's gonna want to go back to her shop and
Start preparing.
start preparing things, yeah.
Okay.
And then she'll meet back up here around dusk.
Okay. So as you turn to go back to your shop, Seraphine, picks up her little rag she's been carrying with her and the little, bucket of water she has with her and goes to the mausoleum that you're standing next to, Morrigan, and kind of starts wiping down the symbol that.
I'm gonna help her.
Okay, so you give her a hand as she. Why is this bugging out? I cannot. Okay, whatever. So as you go to give her a hand, you guys clean up pretty quickly, and she's like, "Well, that was the last one I found. Did you need help with anything else, or?"
I don't know. I think
Don't
we're
know?
good. No, I think we're just gonna help you with this, and then the two of us are gonna be out of town for a good while, possibly.
As you say that, you're going to be leaving for a little while, she kind of perks up. She's like, "Where are you going?"
Right now, looks like we're gonna be going to the capital.
Oh.
Yeah. She's very hesitant on whether or not she should tell her about the current situation.
Mm-hmm. She kind of looks at you and she senses that like there's something you're probably not telling her, but she knows that for the most part, the only ones who keep quiet are the dead, and doesn't want to be saddled with any information that someone might try to get out of her if anything, finds out. So she kind of leaves you to that, not, trying not to pry as you guys.
Look after my garden, though.
She looks at you and she laughs a little and she's like, "Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That's no problem." For reference, she's, in her normal attire. She always is. She's pretty similar to a snowy owl. In terms of she looks like she just wears a simple dark blue set of robes as she generally flies around the cemetery, but she kind of looks at you and says, "Does Astrid need anything, or?"
I think we're good for now. We're just kind of tying up loose ends before we head out.
Okay. And Astrid, how are you over there in your shop?
I think she's bulk making potions, some that are perfumey, some that are food.
Okay.
And she's gonna pull out a wood pot with some amaryllis flowers in it, and she's going to hide them at the bottom of the pot of amaryllis.
Okay. So you guys are waiting, generally for most of the day. The cemetery's pretty quiet. So there's nothing really going on as you guys wait throughout the day, as you wait for Astrid's return.
I'd like to make a bottle of acid. So how do I do that?
I mean, that's... You can just say make a bottle. I mean, I figure you have all of the ingredients for it.
Yeah, of course I do.
I
I can just have acid.
I mean, what can you do as far as your character abilities go?
I mean, I have.
Do you have a?
alchemy
Okay. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, I mean, given that you're at your shop and you have all of your ingredients there on hand with you, I'd say you can create a vial of acid, just with the tools you have in your shop.
All right, I'm gonna tuck that away, and then I'm gonna leave a note on the door.
Okay.
All right, it'll just say, "Closed for personal business. Seek strength," and it'll have a drawing of an amaryllis flower, so that they know where to look. And she's
All
gonna
right.
head back.
Okay. So through the time the sun's gotten lower, you head back, and as you're walking back, people are kind of going back to their homes and getting ready to end the day for themselves. And as you're walking through the gate there, you do notice down one of the paths towards the tree there, you see a couple of figures standing there. Generally unremarkable, but through your past perception, you just kind of note that they're there as you are heading back to Morrigan and Seraphine.
If I stop and listen, do they sound like men?
If you stop and listen to them, it's two men. They aren't saying anything too remarkable, but they're talking about their plans for the night.
Okay. I'll go back to Morgan.
Alrighty. So you kind of meet back up with the two of them, and they're just, I don't know what you guys were up to. Seraphine's kind of perched on. Yeah, she's kind of perched on top of one of the mausoleums, kind of looking around to see if she can spot anything. Although everything seems to be mostly in order. As Astrid, as you walk back up to the two of them, as the sun is starting to get lower in the sky, about to dip underneath the horizon.
Should we maybe just kind of walk around as a patrol?
I'm gonna hold the bottle of acid out to Seraphine.
She looks down at you and she grabs it from you, and she's like, "Did you make this? What is this?"
Your revenge. Just don't touch it.
You notice her very gingerly not putting her hand anywhere near the cap of the vial or anything of the sword, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I see." And she kind of looks around, noticing that the sun's going down. She's like, "I get the feeling they're probably going to be back again. They've been showing up pretty consistently, so I don't know if you guys want to walk around and see, or..."
Do they seem to be hitting the same ones all the time?
They show up every night and they hit different ones, but they do note, as she kind of tells you, she's like, "Well, they kind of hit different ones all the time, but generally they try to hit all of them a lot, just because they do remark that their work is getting cleaned up, and how will the planeswalker know which ones to go for, whatever."
Yeah, we'll look for him. If you see them before we do, throw that. We'll just follow the screams.
She kind of looks at you a little wide-eyed and goes, "Okay." And she holds the vial tight, and she kind of takes off from the top of the mausoleum she's sitting on, and starts kind of flying around to see if she can spot anything suspicious. So as the sun dips down and dusk turns to proper night. What's up?
I was going to tell Morgan where I saw them in.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That's it. I just did it because I
Okay.
don't remember. Me personally, I don't remember.
Oh, you saw them just a little bit outside the gate, probably around this tree, just up the path from there.
Oh, okay.
Should we
So-
head towards the entrance then first?
Yeah, assuming they haven't made their way in.
One way to find out.
Do you want to split gates and meet in the middle?
I think it's best if we stick together.
Okay.
So you guys head towards the southern gate here. As you walk to it, you do notice you don't notice any noise or anything like that. You don't hear any voices, but as you walk down towards it, Give me an investigation check.
13.
Oh, 19 plus 6.
Jesus Christ.
I have a plus 6 investigation.
So, you guys both walk down and you both notice footprints with your investigation. With your very high investigation, you notice that one seems to be one set of footprints. There's two. Are pressed slightly deeper into the ground, indicating that probably a larger, heavier set kind of person, or someone with a little bit more bulk. And the other person that was walking by, slightly smaller footprints, not as heavily pushed into the ground. So it seems to be, one is definitely a bit bulkier than the other one.
I'll take the big one.
And
As
as
with like her mouth open, like what?
and as you notice that the footprints aren't they aren't old. They're definitely fresh, left here maybe 45 seconds to a minute previous, but the strides seem to be decently long. They're moving pretty quickly.
I guess we follow them.
Quietly.
Oh, okay.
So as you follow these footprints, they kind of lead you from the gate here, and they seem to be going up the path this way. And as you guys get to about here, you notice someone hunched over near the front of this mausoleum. You can't really discern their features, but they're kind of crouched, and they seem to be fiddling with something with a cloak on.
She's gonna like quietly like have and like look.
Shh. I see it. Is it just one person?
Yeah, it looks to be just one person. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have a partner with them or anything like that.
You stay here and keep an eye out for the other one.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna answer her, but I am gonna get closer while stealth.
Okay, so you slowly walk up from behind them. Give me a stealth check.
19.
19. They have no idea you're there. Your footsteps are silent enough along the pathway that they don't hear you coming up behind them. And as you kind of get closer to them, you see them. It seems like they're fiddling with some kind of pipe or something like that. Pouring what seems to be some kind of dirt or a powder into it, and affixing a lid and what seems to be some kind of fuse or something like that.
I'm gonna actually a spider climb my way up here and just stare down at him.
Oh my god.
So it seems that he's finishing up with whatever it is that he's doing. You see him mark a rune on the bottom of the pipe that he has, and he kind of goes to dig a little bit of a hole and stick it under the steps. Just as he finishes doing that, he stands up. He's about 6.5 feet tall or so. Fairly lanky, for surprisingly, because he was crouched and hunched over, and definitely was not as large as you might have expected him. And just as he stands up, did you want to do anything?
Yeah. As he stands up. I'm trying to find it. I'm going to sneak attack him with a fang bite.
With
Bang.
with the
Fang
bite. Okay. Remember exactly how sneak attack works. But
Extra damage.
yeah, I think it's just extra damage. All right,
You
well,
roll another
first of all,
damage die, then
2d6.
advantage on attack. I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it depends on her rope
Give-
level.
yeah, give me an attack roll then.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has not a fucking idea. You're sitting on top of this mausoleum, looking down at him.
The attack roll is not a natural 20, but 20.
A dirty 20.
Yeah.
That absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
So it's 5 without sneak attack, and then it says sneak attack is 2d6. So I will roll that.
Fucking rogues.
So plus 7 to whatever I said before. 5 plus
So
7.
12 damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, you jump down onto the back of this guy as he stands up. And as you jump in and you sink your teeth, I assume you're going for his neck.
Yeah.
You sink your teeth into his neck, and it seems like you bite cleanly through his neck, even without putting much force behind it. And you basically tear out a chunk of his throat, and he doesn't even get a chance to make a noise as he just immediately crumples to the ground. Just blood is dripping onto the ground out of his neck, and he's laying there completely motionless. You basically pretty much insta-gifted.
I'm gonna dig out the rune that he buried.
Okay, so you dig up the pipe that he kind of placed underneath the steps of the mausoleum there, and the rune he etched in. Give me an Arcana check.
— 17.
17. You recognize the rune in that it's the fuse that was on the one end is completely pointless. You can kind of infer that this rune would have let him set off this essentially pipe bomb explosive after he had left the cemetery that night.
I'm gonna just carry it to Morgan like a cat who found something.
Like, okay.
In your mouth?
So
Morgan is just watching in horror.
No.
Of
So-
what her friend
so-
just did.
So what you witnessed, so Morgan, let's paint the picture for you real quick. What you witnessed was Astrid telling you, "Don't worry, I got this," walking up completely silently, almost crawling behind this guy who's completely focused on whatever the
Climbed
fuck
up
he's
the
doing.
mausoleum like nothing.
Climbed up the side of the mausoleum and perched there, watching him. As he stood up, you saw her leap off, half his throat goes missing, and now she's walking up to you carrying a pipe bomb dripping in blood.
As she holds it out to you, if you look at her fingernails, the skin around her fingernails are receding and she's not doing well.
Yeah, as you bit into the neck, the blood, the taste of the blood pleased you a little bit more than you expected it.
Her eyes
Would
are
have.
glowing just a little bit too red for comfort right now.
What did you do? How?
I fixed a problem.
We could have at least gotten information out of him.
There's another one.
You are not going near him. Especially in the state you're in right now.
Okay, well, we'll do it your way, I guess.
She is full on, like, she looks paler. She is full on frantic, even more than she was before. Because, like, what did she do to her friend?
Yeah, you have this deep thought in the back of your mind that's just kind of growing ever larger, like, oh god.
She's gonna look for the other set of footsteps.
So as you look, the other set of footsteps, you can tell the smaller set started off, and that was the guy who was right here. He was the lighter of the two, albeit he was still, 6.5 feet tall. You notice the other footsteps go down the path this way, turn, go up. And just as you get to about here, you hear a scream come from down the pathway, approximately over here.
This is scream
on the other side.
Familiar.
The scream is not the scream of Seraphine. The scream is of a man. Screaming in abject, horrific pain.
Still want to do it your way?
I think Seraphine took care of that one.
We're gonna run over to where we heard it.
Yeah, it was right here. So as you guys run over, you see Seraphine also perched upon the top of this mausoleum here. And laying at the foot of the mausoleum is essentially a sickly green puddle. But you don't see a body.
Okay, I guess
That's
problem solved, hopefully.
about what I
Seraphine-
thought that too.
Seraphine looks satisfied that she drove off the hooligan. But you can also tell that she's still a little worried.
I really hope no more come back.
Did this one leave anything?
There's nothing you can see on the ground that he left. So far, it seems that they mostly had no personal effects on them. Seraphine kind of looks at you and she shakes her head and says, I hit him with it, and his leg just dissolved. Like, it was gone.
Is he still
But-
alive?
Where's the
or-
rest of them?
But I don't know what happened. There was kind of a flash. Not a bright one, but it made me look away for a moment, and when I turned back, he wasn't here anymore, and it was just that puddle.
Oh. So he's still around, maybe.
Yeah, can we
Can you
scout out, see if we see or hear anything?
smell him?
What?
You want to see?
Look, people don't have showers in this town.
Well, I'm thinking blood.
Wow.
Yeah,
Says
can
the
I
one
help
from
him?
the swamp. Give me. Oh God, what would that even be? I guess give me an investigation check. I'm not sure if this would be investigate. I think it would be technically if you're trying to sniff him out.
17.
With a 17, you sniff the air essentially, but you don't smell him. You smell the general like cemetery like malaise. There's you kind of smell the acid that's right next to you at the mausoleum. But as far as sensing where this other person was or now is, there's no faint, not even like a faint trace of them
Is
that you can
there
smell.
a particularly tall mausoleum or something that I could climb up?
As far as the mausoleums go, probably there are the various trees that would probably be taller than any of the mausoleums that are.
I will climb to the top of a tree. Use my special dark vision eyes.
Look with your special eyes.
eyes.
I ran.
My brand. So as you climb the top of the tree, although it's now pretty much the dead of night, as you look around, the sky's clear. There's no fog, nothing. But even as you look around, I'd say with your passive perception, you don't see anything. There's no movement other than a couple of crows flying around and landing on certain mausoleums. But other than that, there's nothing.
Alright.
I want to make my way back to the first guy because I want to see if there's anything on his person that can help indicate what he's from. Or
Okay.
where he may have came from.
Yeah, so you walk back over as she's climbing out of the tree. You walk back over to the other guy. His body obviously still there. The blood has stopped pouring out of the massive wound in his neck. He's laying motionless with a cloak on, kind of face down in the dirt. But as you look at him, the cloak seems indescript. If you would like to, you can give me an investigation check.
Oh no, that's a 1.
Oh, as you go to... Oh, that's... Okay, I'll address this with you guys in a moment. With a 1, yeah, you don't find anything. There's nothing. It seems that the only things that he had brought with him were the little effects he used to craft the little, basically pipe bomb that he was making to plant underneath the mausoleum here.
Want to pocket that because that could be useful.
Some of the rest of the materials that he had.
Mhm.
Okay. There's a small baggie of what looks like some kind of gunpowder or explosive powder, and just a little bit of like wick, essentially, whatever he was making with the fuse.
Okay.
But other than that, there's nothing on him that you can find that would indicate what he might have,
Thanks,
where he
Dice.
comes from, or
Thanks, Dice.
so you head back over to Astrid and Seraphine then.
Yeah, I guess we should back up.
Okay. So you walk back over, kind of unsuccessful in your little investigation of the other person.
So my turn to be like a cat. I show the gunpowder and wick to Astrid. Is this useful to you?
Yeah, I could do something with that. Well, I don't think that one's coming back.
I just hope
But
it doesn't bring
Sid-
friends.
Seraphine kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh, did you get someone? Was there another?"
Yeah, you can say that.
She asked
Should I-
that as Astrid is covered in blood. She's still
she
all over her
notices
face.
you now. Notices you now, all covered in blood. She's like, "Whoa, are you okay? What happened?"
She's fine.
It's not
I
mine.
think.
But your cleanup's gonna be a little messy.
Probably nothing I've not cleaned up before, knowing that it's a cemetery and all. I guess thanks for your help.
Yeah, I wish we could have found more about them. I worry that they'll be back.
Yeah, I don't know. That guy seemed to be well, he's missing a leg now.
But if there's
So-
others that are following this
It-
pacemaker,
Planeswalker.
that was it.
But no, you're right. It definitely seemed like they were kind of just part of something, and they were definitely marking something for this person. I don't know what their motivations are or what they want, but I have to assume someone will probably be back. But hopefully not for a little while.
I certainly hope so. We'll keep an eye out in the city too while we're there. See if we can find more information.
That sounds great to me.
Okay. Well, good luck.
She kind of looks at you a little worried after glancing at Astrid and goes, "Thanks. You too, I guess."
I have a feeling we're gonna need it. And she like looks over at Ashrid, like all worried again.
We'll keep our ears open about planeswalker things.
Perfect. All right. So you've taken care of the 2 quick requests. Well, quick. It's now the middle of the night. What would you guys like to do?
Are you good to go?
You want to leave now?
Well, I'm fine. How tired are you?
I've been exhausted since this has happened.
All right, we can leave in the morning.
I mean, if you want to go now, we can. Maybe just a quick rest. Because elves only need 4 hours.
Yeah, if you guys want to do that.
Yeah.
So you want to do a short rest, essentially? I'll give you
whatever the
just
4
make it.
hours. Yeah.
I'll just give you. I mean, since effectively you guys haven't done too much as far as like needing a rest, since it's like a story thing, I'll just give you a free rest. That's fine. You guys rest up until the sun comes back up. A particularly loud crow sitting on the roof of your house bellows and flies off as the sun comes back up. What was that?
The crow.
Oh, thank you. Can we get that again?
That startled me.
Can we get that crow again?
Did it not trigger my mic? Hello?
Oh, that is a weird crow.
Never heard a crow like that.
No. So basically, it the back end of it triggered your mic a little bit. So really, all I heard was, eh. And so I was like, what the hell was that?
Go on. The crow is having performance anxiety.
Oh my god. Act like it's not around. Maybe it'll try again.
Okay, so you guys gather up the
I
last
have a
of.
thing called astral transfer. I don't need to sleep, and magic can't put me to sleep. I finish a long rest in 4 hours.
Okay. All right. So as you wake up in the morning, the city's back to bustling again. You're going to leave and everything like that, and just as you're heading out, you hear a voice of a child yelling at you guys.
I should roll more percent again.
Oh yes,
'cause
go
it's a
ahead.
new day.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, 80.
80. Okay, so after the rest you guys had, and you kind of tearing a man's throat in half, and as a result having downed some of his blood and stuff like that, you wake up the next day, you feel a little bit more refreshed, and you look better than you did the previous day. And as you guys are walking out, you hear footsteps of a child running up behind you, and a small half-elf child runs up and goes, Miss Astrid, are you leaving?
I am. Do
Oh,
you need help?
well, no. My mom needed me to give this to you. She said it wasn't super urgent, but she wanted you to know. Do you think you'll be able to return sometime soon? And as the child, stands in front of you, she reaches into the little side bag she has and hands you a white rose.
What's your name?
The child's name?
Yeah.
Child's name is Veronica.
Monica, what's your mother's name?
My mother's name?
Yeah.
My mom's name is you see the child for some reason gets lost in thought before returning to you with the name of Astoria.
She's gonna kneel down in front of the child and get eye to eye.
And the child looks at you. Veronica looks at you kind of expectantly as you kneel down in front of her.
Veronica, do you feel unsafe at home?
No, I don't.
Do your parents fight a lot?
There's a lot of yelling. I've never seen them like hurt each other, but they get really loud sometimes.
How do you feel about digging in the dirt?
Digging in the dirt? I love playing outside.
Do you know where my shop is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Veronica, if you go to my shop, look for a barrel of amaryllis.
Mhm.
They're red flowers. At the bottom, you'll find some treasure,
Treasure?
but you can only take one.
Only one of the treasure.
And bury them back up.
Bury it back up.
More
Bring
people
it.
need to find the treasure.
Right. Bring it to your mother. There's a note attached to it. She'll know what to do.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Astrid. And you see the kid goes to turn around to run off down the path towards your shop.
I'm afraid we'll never leave if we stop for every person who needs us.
I'm afraid not. We should probably go now.
Yeah.
Suddenly, a mob of people yelling, Miss Astrid, I'll run up to you from the... No, I'm kidding.
Run!
3 more people run up to... No. So you guys are now heading out of the city, taking care of a couple more requests before you leave, leaving some goodies for... Goodies, in quotes. For people who might need your help but find themselves coming up to a shop with locked doors. But they will be appreciative of you having left them stuff to help in your absence.
On the road.
So, as we go on the road now, you guys leave. It's a couple days travel to the capital. The main road's pretty safe, generally speaking. Nothing's really going on. As you walk down past the forest that you go adventuring in, or gathering for supplies down this way, that's after about there. It's pretty hilly and everything like that. And as you guys are approaching the crossroads here, you're just reaching the top of a hill when you hear another absolutely blood-curdling scream coming from the other side of the hill. And there's a mess of noise, a scream, what sounds like the destruction of a cart of some kind, And as you guys crest over the hill to see what's going on, we instead pop over to the bog, where we meet another, the
Oh,
other,
snake.
the snake, where we meet the other 3 members of our fantastic adventuring party.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, what's
Frogs.
going- Are we in a swamp?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Look at the map.
The
Not
bog.
a swamp. The swamp.
not just any swamp. As we come down into the bog, having
Oh, it doesn't have my picture.
Lis-
Boo.
oh
You
wait,
might
hold
have
on.
to refresh.
No, hold on. Oh. Now it does. It's because if you add the token in and then you change the picture of it, it doesn't update the token. You have to re-edit it.
There she is.
So
There you guys are.
here we have our next 3. Welcome everyone to the bog. Nestled within the Graveweed Swamp of Lunaria, we have a place known only to those who live there, for the most part, or who have stumbled upon it, and affectionately called by one of our party members the bog, as much as it's not technically a bog. The swamps, for the most part, are confusing to many travelers, very dangerous for anyone who wanders off the main paths through it, but not for the frog folk who live here at the bog. A lovely, wonderful, proud community of frog folk that a lot of the times they're sharing stories, food, drinks, singing, dancing around the fires at night. And it's here that we meet our next 3 party members. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, I'm me. I am
Hi, me.
playing Peblupe Sandsmirk. Should I give my background or will we let that play out?
I would say
I'll give
give
you
a
high,
little bit
I'll give you high
and
level.
give us your visual description.
Oh yeah, okay. Peblupe stands.
Type your name.
Eblupe.
Excuse me?
Can you type out your name?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Oh,
It's PEBL. Hold on. You know what? I'll do you one better.
Oh, we can change it now. Oh,
Yeah, I
he's
was gonna
ready.
say, change it.
There you go. How's that look?
Oh my
People.
god.
Peblupe and then Sandsmirk. Yeah, I'll change my name. Give me 1 sec.
God.
Can I call you Bloop?
Bloopy.
I mean, y'all can call me what you call me. That's up to you guys.
What's the full government name? Peblupe what?
Sandsmirk.
Government name. There's no
Sam,
government
what?
down here in the swamp.
Can you spell that too?
I just
I
changed
changed
my
it
Discord
in-
name. Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
I changed your role name.
Oh my
It's
god.
Peblupe Sandsmirk. Peblupe stands like 5'8". Unlike
Why
the
is
rest
everyone
of...
5'8"?
Say again?
Why is everyone 5'8"? The other 2 are 5'8". Oh no, the snake! I'm so sorry.
5'5". Sun
You have to
changed
redraw
heart.
the snake.
5'5".
A short king.
Peblupe does not look like the rest of his frogfolk kin. He is very clearly human. However, he's got long flowing orange-red hair, and one of his eyes has an interesting tint to it. And he, for some godforsaken reason, has colored his lips green. He's
I want to fit in.
he's slender, and just very very much not a frog. That's all.
Who would like to go next?
Okay, I'll look. Well, I want Clawpaw to go first.
Wait, I thought his name was
Okay.
Pawclaw.
Claw?
Well, I think we determined that it goes either way.
I figured it'd be easier for you. There's Clawpaw.
Alright, good. Sorry. Go ahead.
Alright. My name is Clawpaw. I'm a 5'1" cat man. A sand cat. His fur is like the colors of the sands east of Lunaria. And he dons a deep blue billowing cape as he stands next to this big bonfire where all these frog folk are, just staring longingly into it.
What species did you say Clawpaw was? I didn't catch that.
Tabaxi.
Tabaxi.
Tabaxi?
Tabaxi.
How do you spell that?
Gabaxi.
Little cat person.
He's a sorcerer. Recently turned sorcerer. You two. I'm not. How did we meet here? I want to clarify how we met here.
Now or in general?
Now.
So right now, after you had left, Peblupe discovered. Is it Malira? Or Malira?
Yeah, Myra.
Malira. She was in the swamp. She, like you, kind of. Well, she got stuck, I believe, in the sticky muds, and so Peblupe rescued her out. And then the story now is that she needs to go back to the capital to check in with her guild, and you came back for a visit.
Did I just walk in on them?
Essentially, yeah, you kind of
Okay.
returned back to because you know your way here now. So you came back mostly just to visit, to discover them starting to gear up for a trip to the capital. But anyways, Malira, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my character's name is Malira Quillheart, and she is a fairy, who, oh my god, I need my document, who was born from the gust of winds in the fairy, is it Feywild?
Feywild.
Wild.
Feywild? Yes.
Mhm.
And after being spontaneously combustedly born, she only spent a few short years in the Feywild when she found her way accidentally to a portal to the material world, and now she lives here, and she was found by her guild head leader, and now just is an explorer trying to explore the material world. She is only 3 foot tall. She's a little fairy, little midget.
Does she
And
hover?
she can fly, yes, but because she is in the material world and fays have powers that they can use, she hides her identity. So my wings are tucked in my blouse. What was I gonna say? She has like whitish hair with like gray, blue on the ends of them. Her wings are also white and blue, but you don't get to see them most of the time. And yeah, she was wandering in the swamps, and because she's very tiny and her flight power only has so much, she stepped in some very, very sticky mud and could not get out. And I guess, yeah. That's when
Peblupe.
Yeah, blue
Peblupe
Peblupe found her.
found her.
Oh, what a name. Okay. So, Piblupe and Malira. I can't believe I'm going to say that name for this entire campaign.
Hey, look, it's
Oh
got
my
the same.
God.
It's got the same number of syllables as her name.
You know what? That's true. You guys are preparing, gathering some stuff, and you're kind of standing mostly outside of what is your home. They inadvertently had you originally, when you got to the swamp, Piblupe, you lived with your adoptive parents in their house. But as you grew larger than them, they kind of realized you needed a little bit more space. So the community kind of banded together and built you a house that's a bit bigger than the rest. So you guys are kind of standing outside of your home, just kind of gathering stuff. When down the path, yes, you spot a familiar face in Kloppa, who has come for a visit. As you guys are preparing to leave, gathering some stuff for your trip to the capital.
Kloppa, there's no way, dude. There's no what?
You see him walking down the path, his cape billowing in the air.
My guy! There's no way! I just met this crazy human. Look at her. She's so short.
I'm not a human!
What?
How dare you call me a human, you uncultured swine?
We were just about to leave, and now you're here, and this is the best day ever.
It is great. I'm great to see you guys. You're amazing.
Oh my
You look so good.
Oh,
Are you sure you know the way back to the town?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Kloppa, we went to a big city one time. It was the biggest city I've ever seen. It's the only city I've ever seen. And there were humans and everything. They looked just like you.
True.
I'm not even gonna try to explain to you why I'm not a human.
You're not a human? What are you? Elf?
I mean, you could just say that I'm an elf, a really short elf.
Kloppa, what's an elf?
Oh, they are like pointy-eared humans, you know.
Oh my goodness.
See these ears? Malira shows her ears.
Whoa!
Kloppa is, I can't tell if Kloppa is Russian or mafia.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it either way.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
I'm in tears. This is incredible.
I
All
love
right.
it.
So, as you guys now, he has come back for a visit. As you guys are about to leave, you kind of have this whole bog community generally. As you going to set out, you might want to check in on some of the people that you would know, if you would like, before you head out. See if they have anything to say, or if you just want to let people know that you're leaving.
Well, play blue play. Play blue play.
Yeah.
Who is your friend?
What's that, buddy?
What's your friend's name?
This is... I don't remember.
Ma?
Oh my
Ma?
gosh. He's more dim-witted than I thought. It's Malira.
Malira.
Malira. Okay.
And what kind of creature are you? I don't believe I've seen one of you before.
Oh no, she's gonna be racially insensitive.
Have you ever been out east?
She's a
Is
baby
that like...
fairy. She doesn't know shit.
I know.
Have you ever gone east, past the Great Mountain?
No, I haven't really been past this area. I've been just staying around this continent.
Well, I'm from like the sandy part of town, lots of desert.
Oh, I love sand. We can make so much glass out of sand.
You can make glass.
Oh yeah, I can blow all kinds of glass.
What's
I
sand?
can make you a glass figurine,
Oh,
a
no.
glass bottle, a glass needle. See,
That's
check out these
incredible.
really cool tools I have for glass blowing. Shows
Can I look at them? Can I
glass-blowing
hold them?
toolkit.
Oh my god.
Wait, careful. Watch what you give to the cat.
What's that supposed to mean, huh?
Don't you remember a great night out on town? Oh, man.
We didn't break anything.
Speaking of glass, I think I might need to talk to some of these frog folk you have. I can't remember your name. Oh my god, Poblano.
Pebupe.
It's
Pebupe.
okay. It's Piblupe. Piblupe.
Introduce me to some of the frog folk. I have some questions for them that I need to ask them before we leave. They might have some supplies that'll be useful for us.
We could talk to Pebuple's mom and dad. I need to see him anyway. I need to
It
say
would-
thank you again.
It would be my pleasure.
Oh my god. Okay, let me get my bearings for a second. So you're gonna go visit your parents first?
If permitted by Lord Dungeon Master.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lord Dungeon Master.
Okay.
No, you can't see your parents. No, yeah, you can go. So, you know, your parents, you can hear.
Frogheart and Gilly. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you go to your parents' home. You guys live right next door to each other, and you know you walk up and you can hear them chatting inside about various things, stuff their plans for the coming days and what they're going to be doing, and you can go walk up and knock on the door if you'd like.
I would like to knock. Do I need to roll?
Yes, please roll for your knock on the door.
Performance.
Athletics.
Roll
Please.
strength to see if you knock it down because you're so large.
Yeah, please roll a strength check on the door.
Very well. I rolled a 2. Plus my 2 to strength. That's a 4. Wow.
The door knocks you down, actually. It's an extremely sturdy door they built because they knew you were now much larger, and you go to knock on it. No, I'm kidding. No, you knock on the door, and you hear some movement from inside, and your father opens the door. Your father, Frogert Sandsmirk, opens the door, sees you standing. He's like, "Oh, my boy, what are you doing here?"
Mom,
Oh,
Dad,
good.
I would like you to meet my friends. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, they would know. Clawpaw, you would know his parents. Malira, you
think
would
so.
not yet. But so your father's like, "Oh, Clawpaw, you're back. And who's this other friend you have with you?"
He's Ma.
Malira.
Yeah, Malila.
Malira.
Malira. Poblano.
Pleased to meet you, Frogheart and Gilly.
It is nice to meet you too. Any friend of Peblupe's, we welcome into our home. Please come in. Did you guys need something?
I wanted to say hello.
Dad,
Oh,
I can't fit, Dad.
Peblupe, stop being a joker.
I get
You
onto
come
my,
in here all the time.
I get onto my hands and knees. Crawling.
You crawl into the home, and it's much more spacious on the inside than it appears to be. Malira, you walk in, no problem. So Gilly's just kind of sat on the bed at the moment, just kind of she's just kind of sitting there while Frogert was they were discussing some stuff until you guys showed up. So Frogert is like, "My boy, what can I help you with?"
Dad, we're gonna go to the city. Remember me and Clawpaw left and we went to the city one time?
He looks at the two of you and he's like, I remember you. What do you need at the city? What could you find at the city that the swamp cannot provide?
I found this fairy lady in the swamp and she said we need to go there. And last time I went, I had the time of my life.
And you see him. You see him kind of pace back and forth a little bit, stroking his froggy chin, as he's like, I see. Well,
Wait, is the dad's name Frogart?
Yeah.
Is that the dad? Oh.
that is Frogger's mom.
Mr. Sam Smirk. I
Please,
just need an
Please,
I
you
just
can call
need
me
an
Froggart.
escort to the nearest town. I don't know where I am, and we're quite lost. And it would be really helpful to have someone strong on the road. I just need to be escorted.
Well, if there's anyone strong here to help you out, that's my boy Pabupe. He's probably the strongest among us.
Oh, shucks, Dad.
Speaking of which, how is he so strong? It seems supernatural.
Well, as you have noticed, he does look a bit different from us. It's quite a long story. I don't remember all the details, and you hear Gilly Chuck behind. He's like, "Oh, Froggart, you're such a goofball. We found him one day in the swamp, and we took him back here, and he's definitely not a frog folk like us, but he's one of us all in the same." And you see Froggart looks at her, it's like, "Gilly, you're not supposed to."
Dad?
Yes, my son.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What do you mean I'm not a frog?
Well, you are a frog. Kind of. Sort of. You have noticed you are different than the rest of us, right, my boy?
You know, Dad, it's crazy. The past couple weeks, after I met Clawpaw, I was standing out by the road and watching carts go by. And the more I'm out there and the more I watch the people, I think they're more like me.
You see he kind of walks up, and you're a bit taller than him, so he can't exactly put his hand on your shoulder. But he walks up to you and he's like, "I knew it would come to this eventually. But those carts that you see walking along the main road there like that, you are like them, son. You're still my son, but you fell off one of those carts, or you were placed off of one of I don't know. There was a cart going by, and I don't know, the people on it seemed to put you down, and then they didn't pick you back up. And we waited, and they didn't seem to return. So you've grown up here ever since, and we've taught you all that we could."
Oh, shucks, Dad, this is a lot to take in right now.
You're
Don't
telling
worry,
me
my
this
son.
whole time he hasn't realized that he's not a frog.
I thought he was.
Well, in as far as we've been teaching him, he can jump like the frogs, and he knows his way around the swamp like us.
Well,
But-
that's sure to be handy for getting us out of this place.
If you're making your way to the city, then you will. If there's anyone who could guide you there, I'm sure Pebbleplay could find his way out of the swamp.
I know this place like the back of my hands. Well, other than the top part of the swamp. But we're not going that way anyways. The city we went to was to the south.
I know the top way a little bit.
Wait,
Oh, see,
Malira, the city you're looking for, which way is the city?
I don't know. I don't know where we are. I was unconscious when you brought me here. How am I supposed to know where
You
we
were
are?
unconscious? What the hell happened?
Well, I got stuck in the mud, and it was very tiring for a little fairy like me trying to fly out.
Oh,
I was out there
I've
for
been there.
hours before Pebbleby found me.
Hey, Blooply, you a hero?
Look, I'm just doing what I do all the time. I walk around the swamp, I collect things, I find things, I bring them home.
and we just do a quick smash cut to your house of just so much shit piled in all the corners. Just the smash cut back. It's like,
Just looking
well,
around like, ooh.
if you guys are going on a trip, here, why don't you take all these? And he walks, over to the table, and he gathers up some of the food that he has on the table. He's like, here, some extra food for your trip, just so you don't get hungry.
Thank you, Mr. Samsmark. This certainly will be helpful. I've noticed that Pablupe certainly has an appetite.
All made.
Yes, he does tend to eat far more than the rest of us.
Toad crunchies, worm butter, veg butter. Oh, brother. It's gonna be a good trip.
Yeah, he hands you all the food he hands you is like frog folk cuisine.
And if it's not too much, Mr. Samsmark, I have a few more requests.
How can I help you?
Well, I noticed these very interesting spores growing around some of these freakish mushrooms in this swamp. Do you think I could take some samples for my research with your permission, of course?
You see, he kind of thinks on it. He's like, "What do you intend to do with these I almost said s'mores. These spores."
Well, as you know, medicine is poison and poison is medicine. I'm hoping to find something useful out of it. For healing.
Well, you're quite ambitious. Yes, please. You can take all the spores you need.
Excellent. And do you have a few glass bottles with you that I might put them in?
You see, he kind of thinks for him. He's like, well, we only have a couple here for Gilly and I, but I would say ask around. I know many of the folk around carry extras. They might have some they can help you with.
Wait, Pablupe, did you say you always go and bring things back? Do you think you have any in your stash?
I mean, we could take a look. I don't know what a glass is, but I might have some.
It's the thing we drink with at the pub.
Oh, I did find one of those.
Yeah.
Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go get them.
So you guys are gonna walk over to his house, his home. As you guys go to leave, Frogger's like, "Oh, my boy, you're going to leave and just not give your old man a hug?"
Of course, Dad. Oh, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Oh, come on. Don't forget your mother, too.
Oh, Mom, I'll miss you.
We'll miss you, too.
But all good.
Be safe.
And I lick her on the
Gilly.
cheek.
Yeah.
Myra makes
She gives you a big lick on the cheek back. Be safe out there.
Claw wants to give him some. He's gonna
Oh.
pull out Candy Cricket. 2 of them.
They kind of look.
for you.
Their eyes grow wide and like, gifts. Thank you so much. You remembered that we love these.
Oh, good, I forget. You two are lovely.
He turns back to you, Pablupe, and he's like, "You've got some great friends, my boy."
Thanks, Dad. Clawpaw's the best. I cannot believe he just showed up today. This is crazy. This is the best day of my life.
And I have something for you, Mr. and Mrs. Samsmark, to thank you for Pablupe and your hospitality. I have here some honey that I collected from a beehive. Have you ever had honey before? Do frog folk even eat honey?
I mean, I'm trying to think, and
Probably not.
I would say probably not. It's like, honey. Can't say we've ever had it before, but it looks interesting.
Well, go ahead and try it.
It's really good.
You see Gilly dips her finger into like the honey and like tastes it. He's like, it's so sweet.
I'm like,
For her, he tries it as well, and he's like, "Oh, this is delicious. Thank you so much."
yeah, Pablupe's like staring, like, give me some.
They notice you staring intently at the honey, and they're like, oh, "Pablupe, please, try a little bit."
Oh, thanks, Dad. Oh, wowza! My tongue is on fire! It's electric!
Boogie woogie woogie.
That honey is some good stuff, Malira.
And the best part is you can put it on anything. You could dip the crickets in it. You could put it on pancakes.
They both look at you like pancakes.
Cakes?
Well, maybe y'all should just dip it in the crickets in it.
That's a good idea. We might have to try that later. But please, I know you're. We don't want to keep you any longer.
Right, bye guys!
Bye bye. And they watch you leave as you guys leave the house, and so you have the option of, I guess, going to Bablupe's house here, or just kind of visiting. There's a couple of frog folk around that are specifically named, but what do you guys want to do?
Let me ask this. Is there a lot to do at Piblupe's house?
I mean, you're looking for stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm just...
That's about it.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
I mean, you could go back and look.
Yeah, I was thinking...
Oh,
I was like...
Piblupe know what he's looking for?
Oh, yeah, how about this?
No, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You could... All right, I would say you want to go back to your house. I have an idea. You want to go back to your house and take a look?
Sure. That was the
All
plan.
right, so you go back to your house and give me an investigation check.
Can we not all
Does
go
he-
with him? I feel like it'd be funny.
Go ahead. You guys go to his house to go look for a glass
Okay,
vial.
where is
Okay,
his house?
I'm clicking these in D&D Beyond because I don't know what I'm rolling, but I'll start rolling dice maybe next time.
No, yeah, that's fine. You can use the digital.
Because I don't want to have
ones.
to ask you guys every time what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're good. So-
It's a 12.
You walk in to your home and you go looking for a glass vial in there. And as you kind of dig through one of the piles of some of the stuff you've collected, with a 12, you pick up what you think is a glass vial, and you go to hand it to Malira, and what he hands you is absolutely not a glass vial. It's a mug.
Pepe, this is not glass. This is another type of material that you can drink out of, but it's not
Papa,
glass.
you said what we drank from. Isn't this it?
And it's glass. I mean, they hand glasses, right? That's what they say.
Folks, this is ceramic. It's a cup. It's not a glass bottle or a glass jar. Look for something that is clear that you can see through,
Oh.
and that makes a nice little tapping noise when you hit it.
Like ice.
Yeah, like ice.
Would you guys like to give me another investigation check?
Me or them?
You.
Okay. Aye. That is a 6.
You give her another mug.
Maybe I should look for it myself. Would that be okay, Pablupe? Can
Sure.
I take a look around? She says as she climbs over a pile of hoarders' hoard.
Go ahead, give me an investigation check with advantage because you know what you're looking for.
Do I just roll a d20?
And then add your investigation modifier to it.
Where do I see my-
But I would say since you know what you're
It's
looking
the
for,
Middle.
you have. Yeah, it's in the
plus
middle.
3.
You have a plus 3.
Okay.
But since you know what you're looking for in a glass vial, you can roll your investigation check with advantage.
Okay.
So roll it twice and take the higher.
Okay. I first rolled a 13, and then I rolled a 19, and then I have
19.
a plus 3.
So
If that's
22. Yeah, so you dig in one of the piles a little bit, and pretty quickly you find a glass vial.
Awesome.
Oh, that thing. I don't think you could drink out of that.
You absolutely can, Pablupe. I'll show you later.
Awesome.
So do you have any more of these Pablupe now that you know what they look like? Can he roll again?
I
would-
you want to yeah, roll another investigation check.
Okay. 10.
You find another mug.
Never mind. I'll just go look again myself.
I'm sorry, Malira.
I just rolled a 20. Oh my. I rolled a 20 and then I rolled a 4. Okay, we're gonna take the 20. And I find some more glass. Yay! Okay, the end.
You dig through the rest of his stuff and you do find one more glass vial, but other than that, there's nothing else.
Cool.
He's got so many mugs though.
Clawpaw, do you see anything in here you want?
I look around for anything shiny.
Okay. I guess, yeah, give me a investigation.
17, 18.
18. Okay. As you look around, you said you were looking for shiny stuff.
Shiny.
You kind of dig in. There's like a silver tray. There's like a old amulet, the kind like you put pictures in. Locket, thank you. And you find some silverware and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but
What's the locket? Is there a picture in it?
no. It's an empty locket.
I take.
You take the locket. Okay. You can take the locket. There's nothing in it currently, but it's your locket now.
Thanks, Bibblebee. I'm taking this.
You're welcome. I thought it looked like one of those Venus flytraps, but I don't know. It's shiny.
Very shiny.
Ooh, is there a picture in it? Can we open the locket?
No, there's nothing in it. It's empty.
Oh, that's so sad.
I walk out of the house. I'm very excited. Guys, follow me!
All right. So where do you go now?
You guys have any preference? Out of character question.
Dude, this is your town.
All right, my turn.
you're
Well, you say goodbye to the people you grew up with.
Guys,
And
I
that's
want
what
you
you-
guys to meet one of my best friends here in the city. He taught me everything I knew about fighting. We're gonna go meet Krorka.
All right. So you guys take a short walk over to where Croca is in the middle, and as you walk up to him, he's kind of arranging stuff on the tables, and he's kind of weighing some swords and like making sure the shields are all making sure the shields are all properly waxed correctly, and they're everything like that. And he's kind of dug into his work as you guys walk up to him.
Hey, Krorka!
As you say that, he jumps for a second before turning to look at you. He goes, Pablupe, what are you doing here?
Krorka, we're about to go on a crazy adventure. Me and my friends. This is Malira and Clawpaw. I told you about Clawpaw. This is him.
Yes. Pablupe has spoken much about you, Kloppa.
He's still all about you too.
And nice to meet you too, Croca.
Nice to meet you too, young lady.
Krorka trained me since I was a kid. He taught me about jumping and fighting and swords.
He laughs and he's like, yes, I did teach you everything you know.
I have a question. What do frog folk need to be scared of? You're in here in the middle of the swamp and no one really knows you're here.
Well,
What dangers do you face?
it's not about being scared. It's more knowing how to protect yourself in case of danger. And sometimes you get some dangerous animals who might wander through, but we're not really scared of anything here. It's, it's tradition. We've always taught a group of young frogs and Pablupe here to fight and protect themselves.
Krorka says everything wants to eat us. But we just know that we're strong and we'll always fight back. We'll always do our best.
You see, he looks at you, he taps on his head a little bit and points to you and is like, yes, exactly.
Krorka, Is there anything you think we should have before we start on our journey?
And he kind of looks around. And he's seeing if there's anything that might be useful for you. He's like, well, I don't have anything too. I'm willing to part with too much, but you can here take this, and he hands you a nice bundle of rope. He's like, take this just in case you or your friends. Well, you know how to get yourself out of the mud, but just in case your friends get into a little bit of a fray and they need a little bit of extra help.
Brock, I've got a question.
Mhm.
Malira keeps talking about going to the big city. And Clawpaw and I, we went to the south one time, and we went to the biggest city I ever saw. And we talked to all these humans, and it was a really great time, and I loved it, and it was wonderful. Is that where we need to go?
You see him kind of sit and think for a moment, and as he sits there and thinks, he's like, well, I know of the city to the south, but I've never really left our swamp here. But I've heard some rumors when I'm out hunting from people talking along the roads of a big city, even bigger than the one to the south. That must be what they're talking about.
A bigger city? You know
Is
what?
that the one to the north?
That's probably, if I had to guess, that's probably where it is.
I've seen it.
What is
I've
the
never
city
been
that we're going to?
The
Name
capital.
again?
Avalora.
Avalora.
Mhm.
You will have if you've never been to a big city, Paplupe, Avalora is going to blow your mind. Anything you can think of, they have there. Although now that I'm thinking about it, you probably don't know about anything outside the swamp.
Clawpaw, have you been there?
No, I've only seen it from a distance, but I know the general direction.
Oh, man.
And even from the distances you've seen it at, it's a large city. It is huge.
I can't imagine.
Like when I
a
put my
city-
hand up to it, it's like bigger than my thumb.
Whoa.
Even from a distance, yeah.
You're a cat, so it's probably got a big thumb.
Well, when we get there, I'll show you around. There's going to be so much cool stuff for us to look at.
You live there?
Live there, but my guild does a lot of trading over there, so we go there pretty often.
Well, that settles it, guys. I think we're going to the north. Crocus said it, then it's gotta be right.
You know,
He
I
laugh-
came here not
he
to
laughs
really
to
expect
himself again.
to go anywhere, but this sounds fun.
Wait, you just visited Peblope and just wanted to just live in the swamp forever? Where's your sense of
What?
adventure?
No, I just wanted to visit and say hi, see what's up. I didn't know we were going to go anywhere.
He just showed up. And I said, you want to come on an adventure with me, Malira? And he's like, heck yeah. That's the Clawpaw I know.
Oh, sorry for that misunderstanding. I thought you wanted to stay with Peblupe in the swamp. I don't know why anyone would want to do. I mean, the swamp is so lovely.
The frog
Krog
cookie really...
Krog is still standing there, like kind of listening to you guys chat, and he kind of cocks his eye, like he's like, "What's that about the swamp?" Kind of look to his face.
Gosh, the crickets are really, really loud tonight. The swamp is great. You're right, Clawpaw.
Yeah. Keeps my fur nice and cool.
And Kroger kind of looks at you guys, and he's like, "Well, you might want to check in with some of the others, but I know you might want to get on your way. There's been some strange noises out there in the swamp these days."
Strange noise.
Yes, unnatural noises.
Oh, boy.
Like what?
Yeah, sounds I've never heard before.
Can you recreate it?
Mm. No, I don't think I could. It sounds even we here have never heard before. And not exactly sure if I would do them any justice.
Gosh.
Well, that's pretty spooky.
I don't know if I want to leave yet, guys. Kroka, do you have anybody you think we should talk to?
Well,
Who has glass?
well, I know Fred's always up in the water. He might have found something, and I know you could always go ask Gumbo for something, but he's a little off his rocker.
Oh, you know, last time I talked to Fred, it was a really great time. We talked about all these fish and everything. He showed me what a fish was. We should go talk to Fred.
I like fish.
Alright, guys, follow me.
Come on, Malera.
So as you guys walk down towards the water's edge, where you usually know where Fred to be, you immediately don't really see him, and as you kind of look along the water, you kind of realize that there's where the fuck did it go? Oh, there it is. You notice that there is kind of a lily pad moving around, just throughout the water. Kind of definitely not how lily pads would move. Blupe, you would know this to be Fred. He typically wears a lily pad upon his head when he's hunting under the water, so as not to make it obvious that he's there for anything that might be above the water landing on the lily pads, such as insects and such.
Hi. Watch this, guys. That's Fred at work out there.
What the hell?
That lily pad that's moving?
Did he just scream?
And you notice
So loud, Pert.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not triggering
actually-
the mic. I don't know what to
actually
do.
cutting your mic up.
Insert frog call.
Frog call. And you notice as you do that, the lily pad stops, and it kind of lifts up off the surface of the water. And looking towards the shoreline now is Fred. Now that you have alerted him to your position upon the lakeside, or the pond side.
Excellent. Fred! Come on over here, Fred! Fred, you gotta meet my new friends!
Hey,
This
can't you
is...
see I'm busy here?
Oh, sorry.
No matter. You scared off all the bugs now. What do you want?
So, we were just talking to Crooker, and he was saying there's all sorts of weird noises going on out there. And this is Malira. I just met her a couple days ago. She was in the swamp. And this is Clawpaw. I've probably told you about Clawpaw. Clawpaw and I, we go way, way back. Well, anyways, we were talking to Crooker. Crooker said there's some strange sounds going on out in the swamp. And he said we should come and talk to you.
He said come to talk to me, huh? What did he want you to talk to me about?
I don't know, you just said you got some interesting things going on over here.
I mean, the bugs are always
Hi,
interesting.
Fred. We are going to be heading out of the swamp soon, headed north. And is there anything dangerous out north that we should be concerned about?
So he kind of sits there and he thinks a bit. He's like, well, I spend most of my time in this pond here, and I don't really venture outside of the town here too much. But I know I overheard Kroka talking about some strange noises he's been hearing out there. I don't know if I have anything that could help you, but let me see. And as he says that, he kind of checks around some of the like bushes and plants and everything around like that, and you see him grabbing stuff, and he kind of returns to you, and he's like, well, he hands you kind of a small little baggie of crickets,
Oh.
and the second thing he hands you is he kind of, you saw him grabbing his stuff out of the air, and he hands you another baggie, and he hands you a little baggie of fireflies, and he's like, well, you can use the crickets for snacks, or maybe try to hunt with them, or They're really good for fishing. Peplupe, you remember when we went fishing that one day?
Oh yeah, you showed me a fish, and I ate it.
You sure did, kid. And
Wait,
he's like, well, you can use the crickets and they'll catch all manner of fish. And then the fireflies here, well, I heard you can put them in jars and they kind of act like little lanterns. We use them here in the swamp all the time to navigate in the darkness.
Oh yeah, there's fireflies all around here. They're the best.
Wait, Pablupe, did you eat that fish raw?
Raw? What do you mean? Well, Fred caught it, right? He was doing his lily pad thing, and he pulled the fish up, and then I took its head off, and I ate it.
Wait, you didn't
Fred
cook it
kinda
over
looks at you guys, he's like,
fire, or
I
put
told
some
him exactly how to do
seasoning
it.
on it?
Yeah, we just ate it. We just eat them like that. That's how we do it down here in the bog.
Lyra has a face of disgust.
Clawpot, show him. Remember last time you were here?
Yes.
You
It's a
just-
great trout.
Did you just eat them?
Wait, you ate fish raw too?
Yeah, it is like deal. It is great delicacy where I come from.
Maybe you're the
I love
weird
that.
one, Malira.
I love that we put
Oh my
Malira in here
God,
with
I'm
the two
surrounded by-
goofballs.
What
Two
do
country
you do,
bumpkins.
fish?
He's a cat.
Two country pumpkins.
He's a cat.
He is a cat.
That's true, he's a cat. Eating raw fish is on brand.
How do you eat fish, Malila?
Well, you can eat it raw, but there's different ways you can season it, and you can also cook it and put all kinds of spices on it. When we get to the city, I'll show you what real food looks like.
Okay.
Oh boy. Gonna blow their minds.
Well, thank you, Fred. I'll be sure to show these guys how to use the fireflies so we can keep the light in the swamp.
Good on you, kid. Now, I gotta get back to my hunting. And he fucking dives back into the water before you can say anything. And he swims off, beyond the lily pads a little bit to where he's like, so he can't hear you if you call out to him again.
Damn
You call him out. You call out to him again. He's like, what?
it. Okay. Alright, so I open up the bag of crickets and I start snacking on them. And,
Okay. And naturally,
Hand
as you
me
do.
some.
oh, here you go, Claw.
There go your road snakes.
Here you go, Claw. Okay.
Wait,
He's a growing boy.
wait, guys. Is this the only food we have for the road, crickets?
No, I've got some chicken.
Wait, didn't Fred say something about catching fish?
Yeah.
Should we get some fish?
Yeah, he did. He did kind of tell you you could use the crickets as bait for fish. You would know this, Pebble. You did it with him before.
And like my hand is like up to my mouth, like smashing crickets, and I just like pause. Like, maybe we should catch some fish.
That's the swamp. You could do that on the way too. But if you want to, sure. Go. Let's do some fishing.
Did you also just find more crickets in the swamp?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, it's a swamp.
I'll just put the bag away. I don't think we need to do fishing checks. These guys are really
You could though.
you're into fishing. Okay. So he had mentioned another name, which was
There's
Croca.
two more.
Crocus-
Croca mentioned Fred and Gumbo,
Okay.
and then there's also another named Ribbits up there.
Okay, well, yeah, he mentioned Gumbo, so I don't know who I know. I'm assuming I just know everybody. Because
You
it's just-
with
this is-
how
yeah.
with how tight knit the frog community is, you know everyone. There's not, I wouldn't say you're like super close friends with a lot of them,
Right.
or like, but like everyone knows you. Obviously, you know everyone, even if you only have like a handful of interactions with them or something.
Okay. All right. Hey guys, Kroger said also something about Gumbo, something about crazy Gumbo. I've only met him like once or twice. I think he lives somewhere on the west side of town. Do you guys want to check it out?
Sure, we need all the information we can get before heading out.
Yeah, these scary sounds are kind of creeping me out, man.
Hmm.
All right, so you guys take a walk over to Gumbo's house. As you kind of walk, you think about Gumbo and how generally he's a welcome member of the community, but people don't interact with him too much. But he's been around. He's one of the longest active members of the community currently.
All right, we approach Gumbo's house.
All right, so you walk up to Gumbo's house. You knock on the door and blow it open, off its hinges, straight into the back wall.
Fair enough.
No, you're not.
Okay, so, good.
No. I was saying, go ahead.
Sorry, Gumbo, are you home?
You notice he's kind of just standing listlessly, like just standing in the middle of his room, of his house,
With the door beside him.
with the door now on the floor in front of him.
Mind if we come in?
He kind of looks at you and he's like, "You already blew the door off the hinges."
All right, it's a frog's welcome. Come on in, guys.
You walk in and he's just old man frog, little. You can tell he's a little bit off his rocker.
Hey, Gumbo. We were just talking with Kroger earlier. We're all thinking about leaving town for a little bit. There's a city. You guys remember the name? The one to the north.
And he looks at you, he's like, "Leave the swamp? Why would you want to do that?"
Malira. What's the name of the place?
Avondale.
Avalora.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
the name.
Is that the Avalor?
Avalora?
Right.
Avalora.
Okay, Avalora.
And you see he's like, "Never heard of it."
Well, Malira here says that she needs to go there, and I trust her. And you know what, Gumbo? Just between you and me, my dad told me something this morning, or earlier, when we were there, at his house. We were inside, and I was introducing him to Malira and Clawpaw. Anyways, he told me, Gumbo, that I'm not a frog.
He looks at you and he's like, "You know,
Wait, you knew?
what do you mean? Look at you."
Gosh. I just thought I was a little different. Well, anyways, I was thinking maybe there's some humans in this city, and I'm thinking I look a lot like them. So that's
humans.
why I want to leave the swamp.
Humans, huh?
How about you guys?
He kind of looks expectantly at all of you. He's like, "Well, what do you want with old Gumbo?"
Well, we heard that there's some strange noises. What was the guy's name? Croca?
Mhm.
Croca? Sorry. That's not in character. That's me just being like, I don't know. I don't remember things. Croca told us that there's some strange noises coming from the north, and we need to head north. Do you know anything about those noises? And what it could be?
Strange noises. I hear strange noises all the time. That's the nature of the swamp.
Yeah, but I heard that these noises are loud and particularly worrisome.
Well, I can't say I know exactly what you're talking about. But I have heard the same thing from Croca. When I was walking around earlier, he was saying something. There's something big out there. Something big and loud.
I love Gumbo's voice.
Huh?
Sorry.
Have you ever heard this creature before, or is this a sound new to your swamp?
No, never heard it. Brand new.
And look around his house for glass.
Yeah, you want to investigate? Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Or would it be perception since I'm just looking? I'm gonna be.
If you're just
touching
looking, yeah. If you're just looking,
and
yeah,
I
just give me
begin
perception.
to question the old frog.
As you begin to
remember
question
what my
Gumbo.
questions were. Damn it! Do you have any advice for us, Gumbo, for heading out of the swamp? Anything we should be aware of?
Clawpaw, with a 21, you do notice he has a handful of glass vials sitting on his table in the corner.
Ooh.
I'd say there's probably about 4 of them. So Gumbo looks back at you. He's like, you want some froggy wisdom, huh?
Yes, please. Any information you might help give us might help us get through the swamp in one piece.
And he kind of, he looks at you, Malara. I'm falling into his voice. He looks at you, Malara, and he's like, Palupa, you listen to this too. Let me give you this first bit of wisdom. I learned this from my father's brother's cousin. Do not be in a rush to leap too high or too far. We frogs, we take our time. We leap when the time is right, yes. However, many will say they believe what they believe is right and wrong. And they'll hop to conclusions faster than a frog on a lily pad. But I advise you, think. Think before you leap. Sometimes it's not worth jumping. And he thinks for a moment longer, and then he gets up and he walks over to the back window. And he's like, second piece of advice. And this I learned from my mother's best friend's aunt. Remember the swamp's patience. He points out the window, and you can see, behind the water behind his house and everything like that. He's like, you see the slow-moving stream out there? It may seem still sometimes, but it's always moving. And you'll face people who are fast, people who charge in like Croca when he was younger. And sometimes you'll see people who are slower. Remember, always strike when the time is right, and never a moment too soon. And he looks at you, Peblupe. I see you with Fred a lot, and let me tell you something he taught me. You'll meet many things out there that look like tasty, tasty flies. But not all flies are for eating. Some are for learning. Some are for listening to. And some are just there to teach you how to avoid getting caught in a web, right? And then he looks at all of you collectively, and he's like, now, this is something for me, old Gumbo. Always trust your tongue. Not the one in your mouth, but the one in your heart. Your words, your deeds. That's where the true leap begins, in your heart. And he sits back down in the middle of his room.
That's some sound advice, Gumbo. But do you have you actually ever been outside the swamp yourself?
He looks up, he's like, huh? What are you talking about? Yes, I have. Give me an insight check.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, fair. Wait, where's my D20? Rolling. Okay, I rolled a 6, but what do I have? I have a +3. I think I still failed it, didn't I?
As far as you can tell, he believes what he says. He's being truthful to himself in that, yes, he's been outside of the swamp. Anyone else can get, if you guys want to give insight checks, go ahead.
Not particularly.
No.
I believe him.
All right. So he just kind of sits still in the middle of his room now. He's like, Can I help you with anything else?
And I have that glass you got?
He looks at you. Glass? What do you want those for? It's my precious glass.
For the road?
What do you need them for?
Well, I could use them to collect specimens. And this is like, maybe he can be like, what's a specimen?
Like specimens? What do you mean specimens?
Like samples of things in the swamp so I can study them.
Why do you want to collect the swamp?
Because the swamp has so much knowledge. I'm sure you frog folk have learned a lot about the swamp. For example, what do you use when you get sick? Do frog people get sick? And what do they use to heal themselves?
You see him kind of sit there and think for a moment. He's like, we use all kinds of things. A lot of it's mud, but we use a lot. We learn from the swamp. You were right. The swamp has a lot of knowledge. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay, so I rolled twice.
Yeah, twice and then take the higher.
Okay, the first one was 15. Oh my god, and the second one was 16.
Oh, okay. He's like, okay, fine. You can take the vials. You can take my glass. he just lifts an arm and points at the glass that he has sitting on the table right there. It's like, now, what else do you need? Or are you done here?
Gumbo, I think you've given us the best advice that we've ever got ever. I never thought about what it really means to be a frog.
Well, I'm glad a good old Gumbo could teach you something.
Thanks, Gumbo.
He just kind of nods at you. He's like, now get out. I have to fix my door.
I could help you fix your door. I'm quite handy.
He kind of waves you. He's like, no. This is a job for old Gumbo.
Keeps him focused.
Gumbo, I don't care what they say about you. You're the best.
As you go to walk away, he's like, what do they say about me? What do you mean? And then you catch like the tail end of it.
You just keep going.
You just keep going. You don't turn around and look back at him at all. You could hear him get up and like pick up the door that's on the floor.
Alrighty. So I don't feel that I would naturally know to go to the next person per se.
Yeah, no, I mean that's you know of him. You would that he's constantly like he talks a lot about his adventures and stuff like that. But you've only ever you've never had a direct one-on-one conversation with him. You've just kind of been around like the big bonfire when he's telling stories.
Gotcha. I'm gonna ask the party. Hey guys, is there anything you guys think you might need before we should leave town? Or maybe some people you'd like to meet around here?
Well, if anyone, it would be nice to meet anyone who's maybe set up foot outside the swamp at least once. Or knows or have heard stories from travelers.
Me?
Clawpaw?
But do you know how to get out of the swamp, Clawpaw?
Well, I got in here, didn't I?
Oh my gosh, maybe you can lead us out then.
Well, guys, you're looking for somebody who might have been outside the swamp. You just got me thinking, now that we're getting near the bonfire. Sometimes, when the frog folk all get around late at night, we like to tell stories about things we've done in the past. This one guy, I think his name is Ribbits. He is always telling us about stories when he leaves the town.
Do you think he might know anything about the loud noises that have been going on recently?
Gosh. Maybe. He seems like he's pretty well traveled.
You know where he lives?
Not really. Let's go ask this frog folk.
You knock on the door. Another door blown off its hinges. No.
I make a low ribbiting rumbling noise, which is like kind of like a greeting.
They return the noise to you. Obviously, it can make frog noises, but they're like, we can help you.
Hey, do you happen to know where Ribbits lives?
Ribbits? What do you want with old Ribbits?
Well, see, we're looking about leaving the city, and Ribbit sounds like he's been out all around. Also, I don't know if you've heard, but there's rumbling noises, or these really strange noises out in the swamp that everybody seems to keep hearing. Oh, I haven't heard it, so I don't think it happens. I don't even think it exists. But I thought we should check Ribbit. Ribbit's a smart guy. He gets around. He should know.
It's around. Huh. Well, I can't say I've heard the noises either, but if you just walk up the path a bit, he's behind near one of the trees up there, past the lantern. I think that's his house.
Oh, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Hey, you want some crickets? I hold out the
Crickets?
bag of crickets.
I'd love some crickets.
I
He holds his hand out for some crickets.
pour some crickets into his hand.
He downs them immediately.
Yeah, boy.
Those are some good crickets. Where'd you get those?
Well, you didn't hear from me, but Fred gave me the crickets. I heard he's got some of the best crickets in town.
Fred's got great crickets. The moment you say Fred has the best crickets in town, he fucking bombs it out the door past you and goes to the pond where he knows Fred always hangs out to see if he can score some crickets.
Oh boy, guys, it's a good thing we're leaving.
You hear distantly just someone goes, Fred, are you there?
So, here's a tree. Maybe it's that place?
As you walk up to the door, you hear from inside, you hear like, ha, 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 ha.
Alright, guys. Maybe you guys try knocking this time.
Okay. I knock.
Give me a strength check. No. As you knock on the door, nothing happens to the door. But you hear, the frog folk inside. He's like, ha ha ha! Who's there?
It's me, Claw and Pebuple.
What do you guys want? I'm busy.
We want to hear your tales of the outside.
My tales of the outside, you say? Well, why did you start with that? Who drew the frogs? Oh my god. Why didn't you start with that? And he, the door pushes open fairly quickly as he invites you inside. You can see he's holding a sword. And it apparent to you, he was probably practicing some, swiping and sword moves. Well, what kind of stories from old Ribbits von Hopper would you like to hear?
We heard that you're well traveled. Do you know how to get out of the swamp?
Oh, do I know how to get out of the swamp? No one knows how to get out of the swamp better than old Ribbits von Hopper. Maybe I could tell you about the time
Okay, guess.
when Huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
guess.
It's like, maybe I could tell you about the time I fought that old snake bear. Or that time I discovered a whole colony of crickets and brought them home and we had a great feast. And he lists off 3 or 4 more stories, all of which he's told at the bonfire, Pablupe, 40 times.
Oh gosh, I love hearing these ones, guys. I'm I've got my head between my two hands, like down on my elbows on my knees, just staring at Ribbits.
And you're like, you love hearing the stories he spouts, and it's only the same ones all the time.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sir Von Hopper. Not that your stories aren't interesting, but we heard that there's some strange noises going on. Do you know anything about that?
Strange noises. And you see he kind of sits down in his chair for a moment, trying to think of anything he might have heard. And he's like, well, I was out the other day, and I heard some big old stomping. It was grand, larger than any stomps I've ever heard before. And the creaking of the trees. Oh, magnificent.
Whoa.
Did you happen to get a glance of what it was?
Oh, did I get a glance? Yeah, a glance of my sword off of its carapace, that is.
Whoa.
Wait, so you killed it?
Well, I fought it off. It attacked me very quickly, but no one's faster than old Ribbits.
Well, could you tell us what it looked like? How tall was it? What color was it? Was it hairy?
Oh, it was a great beast. Oh, it had fur like moss and sharp claws, sharper than anything I've ever fought before.
Oh boy.
It sprung out at me from the water, and I slashed at it with my sword, and I seemed to have caught it, but it almost like it did nothing. It came at me again and again, and I fought it off. 1 swipe, 2, 3 swipes, and the creature dove back into the water, and I didn't see it again.
And where did this encounter occur? Was this to the north, to the south?
It was to the north, of course.
Oh.
Great.
Oh man. Ribbits is the best fighter I know. What are we gonna do, guys?
Well, I think it seems like we should avoid the water as much as possible.
It sounds good to me. I hate water.
Yeah, Kloppo, when you come down into the swamp, like you travel the main road and just take the only paths that like weave through the water. You don't deviate off. You would know that the main roads leading up out of the swamp generally have no like water really super close to them.
Well, the path I usually take avoids water.
That sounds great. Maybe we should take that path.
Is it where the carts go?
No.
Oh. Well, you'll have to lead the way then. That's the only way that I know. I watched them on the road go up and down and up and down and up and down.
Well,
Does your road eventually lead to a main road anywhere?
yeah,
Oh, you
it
guys are
follows
talking.
closely.
Ribbits pulls his sword out and is like practicing some slashes again. Just idly in the side while you guys are chatting in his house.
Do you have a big cart?
Do I have a cart?
Yeah, you were just traveling on foot.
Oh yeah, all the time. Anytime I go out in the swamp, it's just me. I don't have a cart. I never leave the swamp.
Okay, then it should be an easy path for us.
So Ribbits, I've got a question. I have a battle axe. Do you think
Yes.
this will be enough to fight off the thing you encountered, or is a sword the way to go?
He stops swinging the sword that he has. He's like, "You have a fine weapon there. I believe Croca made it for you."
He did.
That crafty frog. That should be a fine weapon to keep you guys safe. You just have to know how to wield it.
All right. Well, guys, if Ribbit says we'll be fine, then we'll be fine. I'll keep you guys safe.
Well, I've seen you knock down 3 doors so far, so I believe it.
Oh my god.
Or is it 2 doors? Oh.
No, the first door is reinforced. All right. Is there anything you guys would like to do, or do you want to set out now upon?
No. Malera asks Hablupe, is there anyone else we need to talk to before we leave?
Hold on, sorry.
Hey, do you have a frog girlfriend here?
A girlfriend? What do you mean?
Like a sweet frog? Sweetheart?
Sweetheart. Oh, like Dad has with Gilly? Mom? No.
Alright, then we should be good to go.
Maidenless.
No maidens.
No maiden.
No maidens. No maidens.
Claw, I can't tell you how many times I've tried to make friends here around the bog, and no, everybody's really nice to each other. They all just look at me, and I don't know. It just feels like I just can never be one of them.
That's because your dad literally told you you're not one of them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You can
Oh,
certainly
this-
jump like them.
That's right. And then I go to take a jump. Can I roll? I want to roll something.
I forget there's like a jump mechanic, but yeah,
Athletics?
give me
Can I
a
just-
no, give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Oh, that's dexterity. Damn it. Hold. 13.
You jump pretty high.
Whew.
Like you you jump pretty high, and you see, and probably a couple feet off the ground, and then if you guys look to the side, and they're like doing some training in the middle, and you see the frogs there jump like even higher than Pablupe does.
That's pretty good for a human, I guess.
I guess I am a human.
You're half frog. I can see it on your lips.
Oh, this? Yeah. Right.
It does not reveal his secrets of coloring his lips.
All right. So I think there's no one else that I know of that I would like to visit. So guys,
Alright.
you think this is it?
I'd love to see the city. I actually just came back from that way. I was gonna talk to you about it, but I don't know. It's kind of personal.
Look,
Well, we have plenty of time to get to know each other on the road.
All right. So you guys are gonna set off?
Yeah.
All right. So you finish up, checking in with people, and you kind of gather your things, and you go to head out. So as you guys begin to take the trip up, out of the swamp towards the main road, and then you guys are gonna walk up. You as you're a little bit of a distance from the road, a decent distance north of you, you hear some stomping, heavy stomps.
come on, brother.
And as you kind of, oh my god.
Wait, they're fighting
And as
without
you-
us. That's not fair.
No, you're fine. No,
Huh?
no, it's
Huh?
them. As you guys head towards the road, you hear the stomping. It's walking not towards you. It's kind of walking in parallel to you, but as you guys reach the road, you hear a very watery kind of growl, and then the swamp goes completely silent again.
Oh, while we're on the road leaving, is it possible to take some of those spore samples from my glasses?
Absolutely.
Okay, then that's what I do.
Okay, so you gather up some spore samples for yourself. Just keep it noted that you have them,
Mhm.
and then you guys are walking along the road, heading, having heard some noises that you haven't heard before, just like all the others, but not trying to engage with it. You guys begin to walk up towards the crossroad up there. As you begin to approach, you can see the crossroad, or where the crossroad would be, Clawpaw, where you had come from, where you turned down. You know it's just at the top of the hill, and as you begin to approach, you can see further off in the distance something running away from the crossroad, as you begin further and further up the hill until it's out of sight. And as you realize now, you heard what seemed to be some kind of scream, a blood-curdling scream, as you begin to get closer to the crossroad itself. Let me. All right. Oh yeah, gotta add the new. Get the old one out of here.
Yeah, that one's ugly.
Wait a second. So now, as you guys walk up, now now I can address all of you.
Good horses.
Morgan and Astrid, as you guys come over the hill, you see just an extremely grisly sight. A cart broken on the side of the road. What seems to be blood all over the place. 2 of the wheels of the cart are missing. You see one is like rolled down the hill a bit. And pretty much the same for you guys as you begin to walk up to this extremely grisly scene before you. How do you guys want to proceed?
We see anybody?
As you get closer to the crossroads, the 3 of you, to the left, if you look up the hill a bit, coming over the top of the hill now, you see 2 figures beginning to approach. Same for you, Morgan and Astrid. If you guys look, you'll see 3 people walking up the hill from down the road.
Can I check on this injured dead person?
Yeah, if you want to rush up to the cart.
I guess
Crows.
before I see them, can I investigate this horse and its wounds?
Yeah, I mean, you walk up to the horse and you see its midsection is just eviscerated.
I see. Is there a way to like check if it's like claw marks or teeth marks or?
Yeah, I would say as you look at it, these are definitely like claw marks. You aren't sure of what kind of animal would do this or something.
Yeah.
But these are definitely claw marks. Something rushed this cart, caused it to spiral off the road. It fucking eviscerated the midsection of that horse, and the other horses, the other horse, I should say.
I guess this is where I notice that there's a person who's here, so we're gonna go check on this person.
Okay, so you walk up to check on the person. There's blood on the ground around them. Give me... Well, how are you checking the person? Like, what do you...
I'm just checking if they're still alive.
So you walk up, and as you kind of kneel down, they are unmoving. You don't see breaths. And it's pretty evident that they are laying dead on the ground in front of you.
Okay. Big dead.
What, no, dead. Not playing dead, though.
No, I said big dead.
Big dead. Yeah, big dead. So Morgan and Astrid, you guys begin to walk. You see a short humanoid run up to one of the horses and check it, and then quickly run around the cart and check on the person there. Clawpaw and Peblupe, you guys watch as she quickly goes from the horse to the person to investigate.
Astrid's got one hand over her mouth, and her other hand is gripping Morgan's wrist. And she's dragging her along. And she just says, "This isn't our business."
Okay, she quickly nods her head in agreement and just like kind of tries to pass by without trying to draw attention.
And
And she makes sure she stands in between whatever's going on and Astrid.
well, can I like roll for? I don't know if I need to roll, but do I see them?
Yeah, you
Run
see them
by.
walking by.
So I guess I'll call out, hey, did you see what happened here?
We got. Well, we're considering we came from the other direction. Literally just walking up on this. No.
You didn't see anything on your way here? Or hear
No.
anything?
Heard something? Yeah.
We heard screams. That's it.
Do you need to do another roll?
I would need to do another roll. I mean, you guys have been walking for a couple days, so yeah, I'd say. I mean, yeah, give it another roll real quick. But you did seem to have kind of a mind about you, like grabbing Morgan and like trying to walk past. So I'd say give a roll, but do it with advantage.
Okay, good, because that was a 29. I'm at 100. I'm good.
Oh, you look perfect.
Literally perfect.
Quite literally perfect.
Have a lot
So-
of animals.
The other two, you see Malira walk, checking on this and calling out to people that seem to be coming down the road. What are you guys up to?
Epe bouple.
Oh, well. You go
Well-
ahead. You go ahead first, Clawpaw, because I don't.
Well, can
Yeah.
Malira come over? Be like, guys, I just saw some people. Maybe we should go and try talk to them.
What if they are the ones that like attacked?
I don't think so. I think whatever attacked over here must have been really large. These are just some ladies. They couldn't have possibly done this.
You think something big did this?
Yes, I do.
Gosh.
Claw's gonna look around for like big footprints or something.
All right, so give me an investigation check.
20, dirty 20.
20.
Ooh.
As you begin to look around, it's kind of muddled in some of the blood and all that stuff, but you do notice these pretty heavy footprints that are in the dirt. They are four-toed.
Where did my character go? Did I just disappear?
Yeah, you
Where
did.
oh my god, where did you go?
I don't know.
You do notice that it's four-toed, three in front, one in the back. Looks like some kind of clawed animal, as also evidenced by the death of the horses that are around.
Would I recognize that footprint?
No, you do not.
Looks to be some sort of beast.
Well, I just bumped into these two people on the road, and they say where they were coming from. What direction were they coming from? Was that?
They were coming from the west.
West. They were coming from the west, and they didn't say they didn't say that they saw anything. Couldn't that mean they're in danger? What if they're walking towards this creature?
Where do the tracks lead?
The tracks lead straight north. They look like they go up the path off the road onto the grass hill, and they keep going as far as you can see them. So they'd be like they're all around here this way, and then they lead up this way.
Okay.
Well, I think the creature could still be nearby. Shouldn't we warn them?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, this is awesome. Have you seen this? Like, look at this person. This is awesome. I love
Oh my
leaving the swamp. This is the greatest.
God.
You know, guys, back at the bog, when somebody dies, we cheer and celebrate. We should hold... Oh, hold on. Wait a sec. You said there were people up here?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Pebble Play, as you walk past Malira and Clawpaw, you walk up to the middle of the crossroads where it extends in either direction, and you see Morgan and Astrid kind of observing whatever's going on here.
Oh my gosh. Are you guys humans?
Yeah.
Morgan quickly takes like a few steps back. Just like what? Kind of like
Yes, you
no.
guys watch this very, very enthusiastic guy walks up to you and asks you that.
I'm not.
Oh,
I am.
She is.
I think.
And she answers like very quickly.
With the I think under her breath.
gosh, I just found out I'm a human today. This is the best day ever.
I'm
Right.
so sorry. This is he has literally been living under a rock, or rather, a,
No, it's in a swamp.
bog. I said a bog.
But you can kind of see that Morgan has taken a very defensive stance to make sure to put herself between these people and her friend Astrid, because doesn't know what's going to happen either way.
He means no harm. He's perfectly harmless. What I am more worried about is
Except for doors.
I guess yeah, except if you're a door. But I think whatever these can I check on the horse and the like is the blood still fresh? Is it dried? Like
the blood is pretty fresh.
I was like, okay, then I'll say that this blood is pretty fresh. Something killed these horses and this person very recently. Do you think it's safe to be traveling out this way?
Don't have much of a choice. Things happen on the road. We're pretty good at taking care of ourselves.
Well, where are y'all headed? Y'all. Where are
Y'all.
you
Where y'all
headed?
going?
Yeah.
Where y'all
Where are
go?
y'all going? My fare's from the south.
She's been in the swamp too long.
Kind of takes a glance over at Astrid, wondering if we should say anything.
Astrid, as you kind of stand there, with this, the scent of the blood is kind of filtering in through the air into your nose a bit. Can you give me a con save? Since you rolled 100, I'll give you a con save with advantage.
Uh, 18.
18? All right, you're fine. You feel like there's in the way back of your mind, there's a twinge. You're like, oh, blood, but you're able to put it off as you kind of snap back into what Morgan's asked, kind of
Lots
looking at you.
Snacks.
Yeah, she's still covering her face, but she looks weirdly put together right now. I mean, yeah, we should probably see what did this.
Want to?
Well, you never asked. You never answered. Where are you headed?
The capital.
Avondale? Did I say it right
Yeah.
this time?
Avalora?
Avalor.
Damn it! Where am I getting Avondale from?
You're almost saying Arendelle.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Avalora?
Avalora.
Okay, I need to write this down so my dumbass brain can. Okay.
That's what notes are for.
And oh, that's where we're headed too. We need to get to the city. Do you know the way to Avalora?
We do, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do you mind if we tag along? I don't know if I trust. I mean, I totally trust my travel companions, but the more the merrier, right?
You could see like her eyes, like they're kind of like silvery with like a purple shift. They kind of just like very nervously glance over at her friend. Like, should we?
Asher just kind of shrugs.
Seems pretty dangerous to go out there alone.
She's not now at this moment thinking of when her friend ripped out the throat of a grown ass man.
Just a couple of
Asher's
days ago.
just gonna mutter to herself, dangerous to stay, too.
I mean,
Yeah, as you guys kind of
travel.
stand here amongst this wreckage.
Safety in numbers at this point, maybe, yeah.
Should maybe one of us in the the Peblot
Poblano.
Peblemo. Peblano. Peblemo.
Poblano.
What is his name again? I'm writing this all down.
Peblupe.
Bloopy. Bloopy.
Lupe.
Bloopy.
Bloopy. Okay,
Peblupe.
Bloopy. Should one of us roll for like a persuasion? Is
I
it
mean,
thing?
not generally when you're doing player
RP,
to player interaction. Yeah,
Gotcha. Oh, that's for like NPCs.
that's more NPC
I mean,
stuff.
you
Yeah,
can definitely roll insight and whatnot
You can-
for certain things,
yeah.
but like this is
Okay.
a collective decision.
yeah. You guys are kind of standing here. There's a dead body next to this cart. There's 2 dead horses that seem to have been eviscerated in their midsection. You guys kind of, if you survey the area at all, I don't know if you guys want to keep looking. You just want to keep going.
Safety numbers, I suppose.
I feel like Clawpaw's got to look at the cart. I mean, come on, what do they got?
I
in
was
here?
also
don't know.
curious about the card.
It's not in my nature, but
Hmm.
that cart
Really hope-
is looking juicy.
I definitely want to look at it.
So as you look at the cart, you notice on the side of the cart seems to be this big logo essentially on the side, kind of painted onto it for the most part. But it's a big Helvetica letter B with vines and like roses and stuff intertwined around the B.
Does anybody recognize that
Would we recognize that?
Have you guys visited the capital?
I
probably.
would have, yeah.
And my
Give
character,
me-
yeah.
Then yeah,
Well.
give me a history check. I need one.
There's my D20. That's not a D20.
I got dirty 20.
Oh, here.
Dirty 20.
I got an 18.
18.
16.
16. All right, yeah. All 3 of you guys would recognize this bee. This bee is the logo that is the logo of Brambles Botanicals. This is it's a shop in the city selling herbs and other various things.
Oh, I feel like Morgan and I would have gone there
Oh, yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, you 2 probably would have visited it. They don't. The cart generally seems to be newer. It doesn't seem like it would be something that has been used by them before.
I definitely want to go take a look at the card then.
Astrid's gonna step back and just kind of whisper to Morgan. You know,
And I'm
if you
gonna
see
go,
anything.
oh,
Yep.
what was the thing's name? Something Brooks Botanicals?
Brambles
Brambles.
Botanicals.
Brambles Botanicals.
I want to
Oh
take
my
a
gosh, it's
peek.
Brambles Botanicals. I love that.
At the cart
shop.
itself, or where the so when you
Inside.
so as you look at the cart, you notice that the back doors of it are wide open. There's like some chickens and stuff, like dead chickens that would be used for rations, kind of on the ground there. Everything in the cart itself seems to be largely untouched. Inside, though, includes such items like shovels, trowels, gloves, other stuff that seems to be for like collecting herbs and plants and other general items of that nature. But it doesn't seem like it was really touched all that much.
Hmm.
It was obviously something, whatever attacked this, opened it, and upon seeing what was inside, just didn't care.
Is there a way to like find out? Like, is there like an inventory list or something that shows who this was supposed to be delivered to?
Yeah, it depends on. I can't tell you what to check, but
I was just gonna check for herbs.
yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in there. If there's, it seems like it was coming back from the swamp. There's notable clumps of graveweed and a lot of mushrooms and some bark collected off the willow trees that is commonly found around the swamp.
Well, it would be shame for this to all to go to waste. You know what they say.
What's that? What do they say?
I don't know.
Okay.
Insert witty phrase here. Yeah, we
From
could
back
go-
here, can she recognize the dead person?
From there, they are face down on the ground, but you do kind of have a recognition of the strawberry blonde hair of the person that's laying in the ground. You know that having visited Brambles a bunch of times, this is not Bramble themselves, but you know this to be Aurelia. She was one of the Bramble's assistants who helped them around the shop a lot.
Sorry, I'm on Reddit looking at the different, like, what is the best, you know what they say quote.
Waste
A
not, want
friend-
not.
There you go.
Yeah, this one made me laugh. A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Oh my god.
Which I guess would make sense in this context. I mean, there are.
So you would recognize the strawberry blonde hair of Aurelia, who's the assistant to Bramble at the shop. You've interacted with them with a handful of things. They've helped you helped gather up some herbs for you and checked you out of the shop a couple of times.
I'm just gonna see if they have like a personal effect I can take back.
As you kind
May I
of
also come over and gasp because do I recognize her?
yeah, you'd probably recognize her too. Now that you are kind of over the shock of initially seeing the scene, you realize who this is. This is Aurelia. As you check her person, you find what seems to be a note. They have a little pin that looks like the Brambles logo that's affixed to the cloak that they were wearing. They didn't seem like they were carrying too much else on them. This seemed to be just kind of like a gathering errand this trip.
Right.
What is so you said Aurelia is the assistant. What is
Aurelia was one of the assistants
who is the,
at
like the head of Brambles?
Bramble.
It's just his name's Bramble.
Their name is Bramble, yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll say something along the lines of, well, Bramble might want to know that his assistant is no longer with us.
Bramble, yeah, you would know. Bramble has a lot of pride in a lot of her assistants that help her out, so you would know that if anything happened to them, she would want to know.
Yeah, Astrid pockets the note in the pin and just says, yeah, she should know.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else like to
Do
anything?
I would.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Okay, yeah.
I would like to go get some antacid because I'm having heartburn.
That pizza.
Oy.
Should I wait? Okay, she gone. Okay. All right. So, I am like my character is just taking this in because like I haven't seen humans, let alone dead humans. So I'm just kind of standing there in awe over the corpse, and
fucking mouth agape, dude.
basically, and I'm just gonna say something. I just start muttering to myself. I guess a little bit louder, kind of in an upward tone, almost excited and happy. May the ripples spread far and wide. May their next pond be warm and full of flies. And then I jump and clap. That's it.
Okay. So you do a one of the traditional frog folk like blessings of the dead that you've heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Morgan kind of mumbles to Astrid, like, it seems this one also has a respect for the dead.
It's important to have.
Those beautiful Pibluble.
Thanks, Claw.
Clawpaw's just in tears.
Aw. Thanks, Claw. This has been quite the day.
I'm gonna get in the heebie-jeebies once we get the hell out of here.
I agree.
Well, he approaches.
Go back.
No, I'm stopping right there.
Is that a train?
It was a train, yeah.
Did you hear that?
God, there it is again.
Yeah.
The creature. The creature in the forest.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. It's a steam engine. It wasn't a monster. It's transportation.
So you guys are new travel buddies?
So it seems.
Yeah. For
Well, we're
now.
heading in the same direction anyway. It would be really awkward if it just looked like we were following you.
You've got a point.
Well, y'all, I say it's time for introductions. My name is Piblupe Sandsmirk. I come from the bog. That's where we just came from.
Bog.
He is south of you.
I see.
Yeah, you can see like way far down the hill the kind of beginnings of the willow trees and everything where the swamp kind of really starts.
Guys, if you don't mind, would you like some crickets? I hold out a bag of crickets.
I'll pass. Thank you, though.
I appreciate the offer, but
They're an acquired taste.
What are y'all's names?
Morgan.
I'm Astrid.
Nice to meet you guys. This here is my buddy
I'm-
Clawpaw and Malira.
I'm Clopple.
Where were you heading from?
West of here from. Oh, God. The name of the
Crap.
town.
Kraken.
Kraken Scar.
Kraken Scar.
Oh. Well, do you have business in Avalora?
You can say that.
Well, you all seem to know Brambles. Are you familiar with a lot of the merchants in Avalora?
A handful, maybe. We have our few favorite that we go to.
We might run in the same circles.
I highly doubt that. And then she kind of like looks down like real awkwardly.
Astrid's gonna look a little bit closer at Malira.
Well, you
Well,
all seem to be very familiar with some herbs. Are you what was that? What is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Are you alchemists or doctors or herbalists?
Me? Far from.
I guess you could call me an alchemist.
Nice. I don't want to ask anymore.
You guys are like bartenders.
Bartenders.
Where'd that accent come from? You like bartenders?
Bartenders.
He's suddenly from Boston.
Oh, God.
No. I make, perfume.
Perfume.
Yeah, you're saying all words that you can see the
I'm-
look on Peblupe's face. This is all shit he's never heard before.
And because I don't know the context,
He's just kind of
I
staring
say-
in abject wonder at.
Astrid is a particularly upper class looking human that he probably has not seen before.
Yeah, I'm just staring at her.
And I say, oh,
Like, and not in the way that he means to be rude. It's just.
What'd you say, Poker?
I said, I say, oh, to Astrid's comment about making perfume, like, oh, it's just perfume. Like, disappointing.
Damn!
Wow.
Thinking it's not very. Because she doesn't know the context, right? So she's
Yeah.
like, oh, she just makes
Yeah.
perfume. It's like,
Don't
oh,
matter, I'm rich.
Rich girl make perfume.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Bet she's an influencer.
Oh my god.
She influences something.
How to kill your
Maybe-
man.
Gosh, guys, you are just speaking languages I don't understand.
I mean, I could actually speak the language you don't understand, I'm sure.
Huh?
A few, probably.
I'm gonna turn to you.
Huh?
Which is I should know. That I also know.
What languages?
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh shit, you don't know Elvish.
I have a question for you, Salt.
Yeah, what's up?
Would my character's guild, which we don't have a name for yet, have any working relationship with Brambles?
I mean, you're in an artisans guild, right?
Huh?
Some kind of alchemist guild, or is it just general artisans that you wanted to?
Well, my character actually is not just it's alchemist supplies, cooking utensils, glass blowers, thief tools, tinker tools. So like I don't know.
I mean, you'd probably have a pretty decent working relationship with the shop. You know, Brambles is pretty well known. One of the, I think, probably the biggest
Alchemist
herbalist shop
supplies.
in the city.
Oh, okay.
So your guild would probably have a pretty decent to even great business kind of relationship with With them.
Okay.
Does Malira have anything identifying that she's in a guild?
Does she have any what?
Anything like on her that identifies that she's in a guild?
I don't know. That's a good question. Do guilds normally carry something?
They might have like an insignia or something that like
Like a brooch.
like a brooch or something.
Yeah, we'll say Astrid has
necklace.
a brooch on.
Sure. I suppose I have a necklace that was given to me. So my kind of like lore is that the head of my guild is like my quote unquote father.
The person who raised you.
Yeah. So he gives me the necklace as like a special symbol, but it has the guild's insignia on it.
Gotcha.
Does the guild have a name? And would Astrid
I don't
recognize
know.
it?
I haven't thought that far.
Well, it sounds like our guilds do similar business, so
You've probably had interactions with people of the guild, yeah. If not, obviously not Malira herself, but others
But
who
at this moment in
part of it.
time, the necklace is tucked in my shirt. No, it's not visible, so you wouldn't know.
okay.
I guess we should get going, yeah?
We should get out of here sooner.
Yeah, please lead the way.
Astrid's just gonna very quickly.
Man, she's walking so
Who
fast.
plays like I'm going to woo. Oh my god. He just takes off in a dead sprint. Suddenly Pibbleby right behind him. So you guys then from the road travel about from there up into the cities about another day's travel. Say it's probably just after midday when you guys find the incident at the crossroads. And as you continue to walk, the sun goes down, it gets a little darker. I don't know if you guys want to camp out at all, or just kind of head straight for the city.
I mean, considering there's a giant freakish creature that can tear open horses, I don't think we should be traveling in the dark.
Mhm.
I
Can you
feel
see in
So
the
you
dark?
would like to camp?
well rested.
I think Pert's the only one that doesn't have dark vision.
I have fireflies.
I have dancing.
We do have
lights.
fireflies.
It does have
I
that.
also
He does have
have,
fireplace.
wait, I have a spell called, I have Druidcraft. No, not that one. Fairy fire.
That doesn't work.
I don't
how
need
you
to
think.
use it,
That's-
but I'm just
that's-
saying I have it.
I don't think that's gonna work how you think.
Yeah, that's
We would not want to be in it.
Oh, but I can use it to find things, can't I? Each object in a 20-foot cube is outlined in blue. Any creature in the area on spells cast is also light in light. Oh. So I could potentially use this to find our little stompy friend if they happen to be in the 20-foot cube.
Yeah.
Which is not a very large range, but
all right. So you
Is
guys
it-
kind of set up.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so-
sounds like we're camping.
All right. I unfortunately don't have a camp map, but so you guys kind of set up camp as you. Oh my god. Make a cone.
It's a tent.
You guys, it's the tent. Yeah. You guys kind of set up your living spaces and everything like that. I don't know if you guys. Oh my god! And there's an earthquake centered right on where you guys set up.
F.
If you get a little fire going. I don't know if you guys want to describe your little sleeping setups. Pepe, I imagine you kind of sit down with a little like jar or something like that and kind of feed your fireflies into it.
well, what food does my little crew have on them? What we just have
Uh,
crickets?
frog.
That's up to you. You guys have
We
some
got
froggy
rations.
You got some froggy delicacies that Pepe's parents handed you guys. You have whatever is left in the bag of crickets that Pepe has not eaten that Fred gave you.
It's half full.
I have.
Okay, so you have half a bag of crispy, crunchy crickets.
I have cook's utensils. Could I like bust that out and make like a tastier meal with the?
Yeah, I mean it's ultimately what you want to do.
I
with
imagine
the
part
stuff.
of the cook's utensils. I just have a bunch of little spices on me too.
I think Klopp, did you
Very
say you had
like
chicken or something?
It tastes good, you know.
Yeah, I got chicken. I'm gonna set up
It's just-
with my tapestry tent.
I don't
Okay.
know if this because
yeah,
I
was
don't
just munching on some jerky.
because it says I have cook's utensil, right? But then I
Yeah.
was like looking online and they say like you can have but I'm an alchemist subclass. There's apparently an artificer subclass of host and chef.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, but that's not what I am, right?
No.
Do I have any benefits from being able to cook, or is it just for our?
I mean, it's somewhat it depends. If you're just cooking, you can use them to like improve food's flavor. That's like a little check you can do. Otherwise,
Okay. Well, then I will improve the food's flavor so that it's edible and I'm not eating fucking crickets.
so you take the bag of crickets from Pepe
Hey.
to
What the hell?
craft something,
Okay, fine.
to craft some kind of food.
Tastier crickets.
Now I want to know, how do you make these crickets tastier? And
Well,
do you-
I have some honey and some spices, so I make like a sweet, spicy sauce for the crickets.
Can I
Oh.
protest? I want to keep my crickets
You can
because
if you.
we were gonna use them for fishing. Polka, I will
Oh, well,
offer
I'm
to
not
you.
taking all the crickets, just some of the crickets.
Okay, fine. You can have 5 crickets.
Or the chicken.
I
We
was
season the
I was
chicken.
actually going to offer you some of our swamp delicacies.
Oh yes, please tell us, what are the swamp delicacies that you were given?
Well, I was given worm crunchies, which consist of worms, leaves, and that's about it. Okay, you know what? Fine, she can have my crickets.
No, I'm not. I just need a little bit. I just need.
Okay, you can have
You
half
know?
of my half of crickets.
Okay.
Deal. It is now 1/4 full.
Gotta ration the crickets.
God.
We're never gonna survive.
Astrid's gonna pull out a loaf of artisan bread and give it to Morgan.
And I'm going to look on very jealously
She's eating crickets.
She's-
And the fairy
Morgan's
food.
also munching on some jerky.
who as a what do you call it? The fairy who really enjoys pastries. This is painful.
I mean, all you gotta do is ask.
You notice Morgan and Astrid are sitting there eating like artisan bread.
I can see how friendly they look.
you see Morgan and Astrid eating like artisan bread and stuff, and then you look over and fucking Pablupe's got a handful of crickets he's shoveling into his mouth. And I mean, Kloppa has some chicken, but
I'm eating my worm crunchies.
Do I notice the fairy looking very jealous?
That's. I mean, you would notice her looking over it at you guys, eating your more delectable food.
She's gonna rip off some bread and bring it over to her.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
As
Would you?
Astrid walks over, she also offers to take some turkey with her.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I haven't had real food in days. I've just been eating swamp food.
Yeah, you didn't seem like the cricket type.
So you guys, make your camp,
One of
have
us
a
take
meal.
watch.
I'll take watch. First watch. Whatever.
I will watch with her.
Oh boy.
She does not go near you all night. Very far away.
She's what? She's doing what all night?
She's
Very far away from you all night.
And I'm just watching you from a distance. That's
Does
fine.
not acknowledge you.
Yep,
It's
that's
just
fine.
great.
He's more watching you than he is the general surroundings.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Don't worry, it's not a romantic interest. I'm just mystified by this very
How
What
close?
is
clean,
it?
well put together human.
How close are you watching?
How
Like close
am I
enough you would want to make a perception roll?
watching? Actually, you know what?
Okay.
Yes. I am.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I already rolled for my next day,
Oh, you did? Okay.
so he'll probably see it.
Okay, I'm rolling perception. 15. 16.
16. What did you roll?
A 38.
38.
What does it mean?
Not great, but depending on how closely he's looking, with a 16, still a pretty high check. He is. I would say, what do you say he would kind of notice from you being separated from him with the 16?
Well, since it's dark,
And he doesn't
Especially
have
since
night
it is
vision.
dark. And he doesn't have night vision. It's just the dim light of the fire
I
that's
have-
still going.
And fireflies.
I was gonna
He
say
has-
I probably would have set up some dancing lights so there's like a nice soft purple glow around the perimeter. A
Okay.
few of the lights.
So there's a
Then-
general soft purple glow. The fire's kind of dim. It's dying down a bit.
where before she had warm brown eyes, you swear sometimes you see red come through more. And her eyes look like they've begun to sink in to her skull. And you can't tell if it's the light
You
quite,
can't tell if it's
yet.
a trick of the light or
but her cheeks look like they're significantly more hollow than they were before.
they're a bit more sallow. And
Interesting. Okay. I say nothing. I'm just watching.
Wow, this is a
He's a-
human.
is this what humans are like?
It's like, you humans are fucking crazy.
Does this happen to me at
They
night?
come in all shapes and sizes. It's crazy.
They do. Someone roll me just a straight D20 real quick.
Roll. 18.
18. All right. It's a pretty quiet night.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's a excuse me. It's a fairly quiet night. Astrid you don't really notice anything. Pablupe, you don't notice Astrid not noticing anything. Or you notice Astrid really not noticing anything. So it's a pretty quiet night. Anyone sleeping is
So do
Getting
you want to rotate watch?
some decently restful sleep. You're about halfway in, so that would be about the time.
I'll take second watch.
I get cozy in my bedroll.
You just
I can
sleeping under
take
the
second.
stars?
You know it.
Oh yeah. All right, so Clawpaw and Morgan now.
Astrid's gonna wait until nobody's looking at her, and then she's gonna scuttle up the tree.
Oh, you took refuge underneath one of the big trees that.
It says,
The
do I
fight,
notice Astrid's?
Given you two are very close, you would be on the lookout for her. So I don't know if you notice exactly how she's looking, but
how
you,
bad she is right now.
yeah, that would be. I mean, since you know her very well and you've been kind of particularly keeping an eye out for her, you can give me a perception check with advantage.
Well, that's a 12.
A 12.
Mhm.
I mean, with a 12, you know, even still, you know what you're looking out for. But the flickering of the lights at night and kind of cast shadows in weird ways. But you do kind of notice, just as she's about to scuttle up the tree, when she thinks no one's looking, you do kind of notice that her eyes are a little more red than you. You swear you could see her eyes are a little more red than you would prefer them to be.
I see.
And her cheeks are a little bit more sunken in. But she very quickly scuttles up the tree to wherever it is she's going to perch.
Like a bird.
Wait, do I see that?
Do you give me a perception check? I don't know if you were looking out for anything, but
I'm on lookout. I'm looking.
yeah. But you kind of were in that like interchanging of 19. You don't notice her facial features, but you do see her climb up the tree.
Guess I'm gonna go
That's
stand
the
next to
second.
Morgan.
Oh, Morgan was gonna stand on the opposite side.
Lyra is passed the fuck out because, like a tiny person, she's tired all the time.
She's Hong Shuin.
She's dealt with Pebble Pay for a couple of days, and now she's exhausted. So she's just sleeping straight through. Nothing's waking her up until she's done. But figure of the two awake, or you know what? Anyone except Malara can give me just before you guys fall asleep. You guys can just roll me a straight d20. One of you, one person.
I did last time, so.
Very well. I will roll said d20. A physical d20.
Oh my god!
I rolled a 1.
Roll low. Oh no!
What did you roll?
A 1.
Wonderful.
I rolled a 1.
I said roll low, but damn!
Oh my god!
Guys are
As
dead.
you lay there, a beast comes out and drags you away from the camp. No. As you go falling asleep, you kind of look up in the sky, just kind of watching the stars and everything. And as you kind of watch the night sky trying to drift asleep, you notice the stars kind of just kind of out of view, like something's covering them. Something's moving into view and covering the stars above your head.
Is that everyone?
And well, who else is looking up? You were kind of going to fall asleep. You were looking up at the sky. You noticed there is, eventually as the whatever this is moves across the sky, it begins to cover up the moon, and any moonlight that was over the camp begins to disappear.
I feel like those on watch would have noticed that.
Yeah, you guys begin to notice as well as you look up that something is moving across the sky and covering up the stars and from view.
What is it?
As you
It's
continue
like a
to
bright
look.
light.
No. It's like a shadow, like a
Shadow?
big something big is moving across the sky and covering
She's
it up.
gonna
Oh.
quickly dismiss her dancing lights.
As you dismiss the dancing lights one by one, they go out. The fire at this point is pretty much out. There's a couple embers, but other than that, it doesn't give off any particular light. As this big shadow kind of moves across the sky, you'll find out what it is next time.
Mother. Okay.
Nice.
For the it is after midnight.
Indeed.